Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly weird master today, because today we are going to be carrying on. We're going to be kicking off our a year-long Shadow of the Weird Wizard campaign that we are playing with Robert Schwalb's outstanding Shadow of the Weird Wizard RPG, the successor to his excellent Shadow of the Demon Lord game that we had run on the channel about 10 years ago. This is part of our celebration of the first decade of the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel as well, too. So I am very excited to get this campaign actually off and running with bona fide efforts to try and kill the characters. Now, let me introduce you to the stars of our Shadow of the Weird Wizard campaign called A Decade of Doom. I'll go the order. I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I am playing Moonbeam Longsight. She is a sprite and a fortune teller and a former circus performer.
Very nice.
Oh, well, circus member.
Nice. Next up is Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I'm playing the Juggler. He is a revenant who's taking the rogue novice path. He doesn't remember his name. He was also in that troop. Moonbeam looks familiar. Yeah, he's good with knives.
Nice.
The revenant is an undead, come back to life. Right, so, just to let people know.
Very nice. Next up is Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Sirocco. Sirocco is a harpy that was a bauble for an aristocratic family. And by reading over his captor's shoulder, he made out, at least most of the spell information to get himself out of there.
Very nice.
So now he's free.
Excellent. And last, but certainly not least, is David.
Hi everyone, I'm David, and I'm playing Caden, reformed criminal, college dropout, and token human in this party.
Nice. I think the Graham's character is human as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's... Yeah, because Jamie's character is a warg. So we're going to treat this campaign the same way we do anytime we have absences in other campaigns. Whoever's here for the day, we're going to treat it'll be easier in this campaign to just treat, as if they're absent. We don't need to talk about why or explain why, because there will be substantial gaps between, in the time, in the fiction, between each session. But where our session starts, guys, is in, I guess, year one of our campaign, and with you guys at first level. What we talked about before when we were setting up the campaign is the idea that you guys were going to be setting out into the borderland, the land between the old country and the new country, the land that is sort of sandwiched in between the land that was under the control of the Weird Wizard and the one that was the old country, now bedeviled by a variety of different plagues, not the least of which is civil conflict, potentially the worst of which is the spreading orcish plague. In this setting, you guys may be aware of this already, so my apologies if I am repeating something you already know. Orcs are not an independent species the way that, say, harpies are or sprites are. Orcs are the physical manifestation of a spiritual disease. It is something that afflicts things that have come too close to certain eldritch and ancient dark powers. There are rumors and tales of dwarf holds that have suddenly gone silent when they have delved too deeply, and that plague has been spreading across the old country. It sounds like you each have had your own reasons for leaving the old country and starting your journey across the Salt Barrens, but the Salt Barrens trip can take upwards of 4 months to cross. And lest you think that this is just a simple matter of going across just some relatively, arable and tolerable landscape that is just, doesn't have people in it. Let's just take a quick look at what Salt Barrens look like.
Ooh.
So this is what you guys have a hot date with for 4 months. In the rule book, the Secrets of the Weird Wizard one, they also give us this as an example of the Salt Barrens. So this is what you will be living for the next 4 months. I want you to think hard about what reasons you had for making this travel, because I can assure you, when we first meet our heroes, our weirdos in-game, it will be on the 4th day of travel into the Barrens. Here's some things I've assumed, guys, is that you are all part of a roughly 50-person caravan that promises to make its way across. There is, of that 50, those are just the actual refugees and the travelers bound for a place called Newtown. The warnings that were given beforehand is that there is a guarantee that not everyone who sets out will make it. It is just, there are too many perils, both living, conscious things and monsters and other beasties, and the environment itself. Without proper protections, if you try to travel at the height of day, you can be blinded temporarily or permanently. You can die of heat exhaustion. You can die of starvation because there is very little that is in the way of arable stuff in the salt flats. And the living things that you come across are tough enough and dangerous enough to survive in there. These are some of the warnings that were given to you by Zarpa Kazan. Zarpa Kazan is the woman who is the caravan master of this. I know we all went to high school with the Zarpa Kazan, but there you go. In the event you need to see how to spell it. Now, Zarpa is obviously from a more southern clime, darker skinned, to the point of South Asian, like the northern part of the Indian subcontinent kind of dark skin. Zarpa has, I'll leave it to you guys to figure out how you sort of made the selection of this, because obviously there are predators who will happily drag people out into the salt flats and just take their money, but you have all managed to find someone who you are assured is going to take you along. And her husband is a bit of an unusual character. His name is Gunnar, and he has taken seemingly her foreign last name too. So Gunnar Kazan. He is a northerner. He hails from one of the more northern kingdoms in the old country from the looks of things. Lighter skin, quite tanned for the from exposure to the trips across the salt flats. And Sirocco, I think you likely pick up quite early that there's something, you peg him early for someone who actually has the capacity to work magic. He has certain charms on him. He carries a staff with him. And sure enough, that's what you find is the part of his place among the caravan is to magically replenish water as you guys are making your way. You do need to bring supplies because there's very little in the way of food. But that is one thing he can do. The other thing you find is that there is a daily refresh. One of the things that you find after the first couple of days, once you get into the salt flats themselves, is you find that after the midday break, because you cannot travel in that heat and in that brightness, he has a spell that is used every day to form clouds overhead, which then result in a downpour, allowing you guys to wash some of the salt off and to collect further water. I think Caden, as a mugger, You may also realize that it does do a pretty good job of concealing the trip, or the route and the passage of the 50-person caravan as well. So there may be a survival element to that. The other thing that the unflappable Master Zarpa says is that this is not a vacation. Everyone will need to work to keep everyone alive. So what is it that you all will do to help with this?
I think I could. One thing I could do is I can fly high and be eagle eye for the. There's a pun in there, I think. Harpy.
Have you any dark vision?
Oh, I don't feel confident about that. Let me check.
I don't think so, right?
I have keen eyesight, but
The difficulty with that will be that either you are not immune to exposure and you're not immune to the glare. So really the only thing you might do by getting yourself up during the height of day is making it more likely that you're going to get blinded. And if you don't have dark vision, then you're going to be unable to spy far. Although in the evening, the moon's passing overhead will likely give you a lot of light. So that is possible when it's not, when the sun is not up.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, reduce the obscurement. Okay, so keen vision is a kind of dark vision. So then, yeah, like for keeping watch, that's definitely something that would be helpful. Or the rest of you guys. This would be in like dusk or something.
Hayden would have played on his. It's like a medallion of the College of the Adamant host, and while admitting that he's not officially a member anymore, he will have sort of played on that. You know, he'd be an excellent bodyguard and the caravan guard, given his exquisite military training, and also he'll be guarding during the day, or when we're sort of traveling, and then helping out with. He's quite a big, hefty, strong chap, so he'll happily help out with carrying stuff, or if a wagon needs to be lifted up to replace an axle, that sort of thing. So he'll just be sort of doing manual labor when not on guard.
Okay. What about Moonbeam or the Juggler?
Well, Juggler, I mean, he doesn't have to eat, right? So he's probably, he ends up being salt encrusted, I guess, during the all day. But it's like salted meat. But he also has keen vision, so he's more than happy, and because he uses less resources, right?
Do revenants sleep?
It doesn't. I don't know.
Let's see here.
I mean, he's immune to poison, deprivation, exposure, infection, and suffocation. So he could just. If he doesn't need to sleep, he can be.
Because I mean, there's a psychological.
Shut down at some point.
That's
he needs to
something.
shut down at some point.
Like your body may not need it, but psychologically, you may need that time to.
Probably.
Let's see here.
Or it's a habit. I didn't see that on there.
Yeah, and actually, you would be with immunity to exposure. You would be ideal for keeping watch, especially during some of those hotter times of the day.
Yep.
You would need to wear the kind of
like a visor or goggles. Yeah.
Yeah, but they will supply that for the caravan. I think you still do sleep, then, or at least rest, unless there's something that I'm missing here.
He goes into like the feigned death mode. You know, he looks unconscious or dead.
Oh yeah, it says you appear to be a corpse when you're unconscious, which suggests that you can go unconscious. So, so there we go. I mean, I guess he appears to be a body. So he sleeps like the dead, quite literally. Okay, so we got Juggler keeping watch, Sirocco potentially keeping watch. Caden is offering as a camp or a caravan guard. What about you, Moonbeam?
I mean, I don't offer a lot of surviving in the salt flat deserts.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a bit of a fucking dead weight here. So.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't weigh a lot, but I mean, I could offer, my my fortune telling skills to help, decide the path or when the journey is safe. Sort of.
You don't actually
whether
have
they believe
any.
in it.
Yeah. Do you have any divinatory ability at all? I don't think so. Right?
I mean, that she.
Well, who's asking?
Yeah, who's asking?
I'm asking. Me,
No,
the GM. You don't have
the
it.
GM. No magical, actual divinity power.
So
No,
then
of
the
course.
judgment would be: would you want to try to lie to this person about your abilities?
Would I try to? I mean, if they're asking what I can help with, I do think I would say that's something I can help with, whether it's like truthful or not. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know. I don't think she has a lot of skills to offer, so I don't know what else she would say.
Does Moonbeam believe in her own?
I think she does.
Modifications?
Because in that aspect, I do have a real ability that changes her own destiny. But I think does this actually only work for me, or I think so. When you finish the ritual, roll 3d20s. You can expend one roll to replace the number rolled on. Oh, it's just on a d20.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can use it on other people. Oh, so I guess I do have a little bit of real divination magic.
No.
I kind of. It's sort of the ability
Oh
to change.
yeah, no. I guess you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not for your. I take it you cut and pasted that from the ability, right?
Yeah, that's
not
the text
paraphrased?
from
Yeah.
the book.
Yep.
No. The only thing I did was remove any tabs or whatever so that it reads a little better.
Right.
So I guess I do have a little bit
Yeah,
of
okay.
magical intervention.
Yeah. So then,
It's not unreasonable. I think I would say something like, I've been known to change the fates from bad to good, or something like that. I'm a lucky charm. I'm more like a lucky charm than an actual fortune teller.
Prophet.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Things go bad for those who move against me, and things go good for those who are my friends. I guess I should probably roll those, because I probably would do this in the morning or
yeah.
whatever.
So how many? Remember that each of your, because I think you got a spell from that. Each of your spells says how many castings you have per day.
Yeah, this is just like a once per. Like, I think you do this until you've used them up, and then you would like recast it. So she consults her magic, fair sprite tarot deck.
Yeah.
To so she probably would have done this in the morning.
What is your tradition divination?
Yes, I
I
believe
think so,
it
right? Because you
is.
got combat. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I not write that down somewhere?
I thought I saw that at the top of the magic section.
Oh yeah, divination. Yeah, that is my tradition.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Then. Yeah.
So I guess I might as well roll those and write them down.
Sure.
3d20.
Where we're going to be picking up is
Oh, someone's getting bad luck from her today.
but that's actually, it's for any d20 that includes one's eye roll.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So my enemies have bad luck around me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Using roll 20's hatred for me. To my advantage.
But
finally.
also, seeing as a lot of rolls have a DC of 10, giving someone an 8, depending on their other bonuses or wounds.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Optimistic, but true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
I don't have any +2. Do I have +2 on anything? Let's see. Oh, I got +3 on something. I do.
There you go. All right. So then I think perhaps the morning comes. Let me tell you what you can expect here, too. One thing you find that is unusual for this 4-month trip, obviously horses are going to be a challenge to bring across such a thing. They're not really going to be suited for this kind of thing. I heard, Anna. Dogs, though. Dogs obviously are here. But what they make use of is something called fire lizards. Let me show you what these look like. Yep. There we go. These are what drive each of the caravans.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah. And they may use a great deal less water than even what camels would use. They're really, it seems like ideal things. You've never, I think, the lot of you have probably never seen anything like this before. It is likely from a different clime. But yeah, I mean, there is in total probably about 10 wagons that make up a total of 50 refugees. In total, the caravaneers themselves are a group of about 6. And morning will come. This is about the 4th day of your travels, guys. And Sirocco, with between you and Juggler, if you guys have the... I can't remember, Juggler, do you have keen vision as well? I don't think so, right?
He does.
He does as a revenant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then it will be the 2 of you who would be in the morning, who would be in the evening. And the salt flats, like other deserts, because of the lack of moisture, it is very cold in the evening. So the contrast between the two. Juggler, you were the one least affected by the exposure, so if I might make a suggestion, it may be best if you did in the last part of the day in Sirocco, you before at the dusk.
Okay.
That can make sense.
Okay. Yep. What were you going to say, Sean? Sorry, I talked over you, though.
No, that was about it. I was going to ask the question you just answered.
Oh, terrific. Can you tell we played together for a while?
Yeah.
All right. So then morning comes, and Juggler, you were coming back from your keeping watch. There's probably little, bits of salt crusted into your dead flesh. You've got that drug or whatever it is that you're using to maintain yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is that called?
But I put it under notes. It's going to be in the
Galsine root.
Okay.
It sustains. Let's see. Once planted, the plant sends out tendrils that spread throughout the interior. The root does nothing about the smell, so revenants might want to stuff their bodies with fragrant herbs, but it does preserve the flesh.
Oh. Well, I smell like salt.
Yeah, probably actually in this. The salt in the evening, the smell will not be quite as bad. During the daytime, I can't imagine you're seeing a lot of people who are wanting to be walking downwind of you. What explanation have you guys given for Juggler's appearance and aroma?
What's the attitude towards undead in general? Is it
not good?
Negative?
Not good.
Okay.
No. It is something you're going to have to address. The undead typically are things that want the living dead, and there is such a thing as the zombie plague. That is one of the things that has caused a problem. So, undead themselves, it would have been a matter of talking the caravan into either accepting him for what he is, or explaining at least why he smells and looks like the dead. What do you guys think?
Oh man, that's.
She's the caravan master and stuff. You probably have to let him know.
Like Juggler, you certainly can be involved in this as well too. Like you're not, even though you got a memory loss, like you're not, you're not stupid, and you would be aware of the peril of this.
I mean, let's see. I mean, you could volunteer as being the person to, the midnight shift. I'm trying to put value on it somehow. That you could avoid everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I tell we have to let the caravan master and her spouse know, right? But then emphasize the value, and it's not like I'm not a zombie. I'm not part of the zombie plague.
Right.
I am on a quest for vengeance. Was it the three sisters or the sisters brought me back? For some purpose.
You don't know.
Yeah.
That's your story. You can make up your story, I guess.
That's my story. No, it's like I said, a set of gods brought me back, right? So, there's a god of the dead, I believe, or several gods of the dead. And I read. Yep, and then my deities are the fates. The fates brought me back. There is a strong commitment to the gods, so I'll emphasize my piety. And I have a strong commitment to the fates, and they brought me back. I will promise I will not. I will attempt to not interact with many of the other caravan patrons.
Give
as
us
much as I can.
Juggler, why don't you give us, and let's get our first dice roll going here.
Nice.
You are an entertainer, so you're going to roll this with a boon, and there's also a boon because of your conviction. I think while the Revenants may be slighted for their aroma, they certainly cannot be accused of having a lack of will. So why don't you give us a roll of, I think, will plus 2 boons.
Okay, so I should click on the dice and then 2 boons.
You just click on, the next to will, and then select 2 boons and no bonus. It should roll that for you.
Don't put a plus, right?
Correct.
And then just test. 7.
Now that was a nat 1 you rolled.
Yep, and a 6, I guess.
Now, we can assume that Moonbeam was accompanying you with this.
Yeah, I probably would have been.
In which case, Moonbeam, assuming you cast that experience revelations at the start of each day, you could swap out that 1 he rolled for, let's say, the 8 that you rolled.
Yes, let's do that.
However, I would like to hear what ridiculous coincidence that you think was beneficial when Juggler was presenting his case to Master Zarpa and Gunnar.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know, because it's like Play Dead is like his best trick, but I don't know how that helps us. Maybe it's the.
Let me ask you this, because this would have been after you were told what kind of thing to experience. What type of journey you have before it, and what the likelihood of that includes the 6, though. That's why it's a 7. He rolled a 1 with no.
I was thinking if you replaced it with the 4, Moonbeam's 4 rolled 4.
It would still be a 10.
Oh, right, but we're going to re-roll Moonbeam's thing if we're going to let him use those rolls for the background. But yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
yeah. So what I was going to say, Moonbeam, is what do you think would be required to be able to survive this kind of trip?
Well, just like, I think, the ability to not need to eat and be a light on resources, I think, is one of the Juggler's great advantages here. So maybe that's, maybe I point that out.
Yeah, I don't eat. I don't.
Yeah, you haven't. Right. Well, between the two of us, we eat what half a person eats.
Yeah, and
right?
With the changes to his physique, if he can't be suffocated, I think he could walk in a sandstorm. He can still get lost
Right.
potentially, but I mean, like, he could keep watching a sandstorm without worrying, right? So,
Absolutely. So
And-
I don't. Yeah.
and it's technically a salt storm. So, well, I think
Right.
after hearing this,
Isn't salt good for you, the Mr. Juggler?
what does Zarpa? You know, you can see that she's not thrilled with it, but what Gunnar points out says if he had the will to come back to put himself on this quest, he's got what's necessary to make it across the Barrens. Or at least the necessary part. She looks up at
His
him
legs-
and she's
his legs
not
still work.
clearly not pleased with it. And he says, plus, as the sprite says, one less mouth to feed. She nods. You can see her thinking things over. And she says, if anyone asks about the smell, tell them it's a religious thing. When morning comes, on your first day here, so Moonbeam, we'll let you re-roll your 3d20 as well, because we'll assume that that is the first thing you do in your day.
Yeah. Consult my little magic deck. Roll 3d20. Oh, today
There
is
we
a day
go.
of good luck.
Okay. So, I pictured that what we would see is a circle of all of these wagons. 10 of them. There'd be one part where all the fire lizards are kind of accumulated. And we would see as the slow, rosy light of dawn is coming over, Juggler completing his last kind of round of the camp. It's been an uneventful night, but you've heard that this first week and the last week can kind of be some of the most dangerous, because that is when opportunistic predators will come. And opportunistic predators of the two-legged variety. You make your way back, and you kind of, tap. I can't remember, Juggler, do you have a sword? Do you have what kind of weapon do you have?
You're muted.
He uses a bow and daggers.
Oh,
So maybe it's just
nice.
your the strut of your bow. You kind of tap on the thing, and everyone begins waking up. Moonbeam, why don't you tell us what once you've got yourself out of bed, and you've alighted out of the wagon, what does it look like when you're scrying for your day, when you're casting experience revelations?
I think here on the desert, or on the salt flats, she probably goes out and finds one cracked section that is the perfect shape to lay her cards out in. And I think it's like not exactly like a tarot reading. It's more like something different. Maybe she stands in the middle and she lays the cards out in a circle around herself. And then she closes her eyes and sort of spins and then stops and points at 3 different cards for the day that sort of represent the moments of what's going to happen. But they would have images that were interpreted sort of like a tarot deck.
What do you think her strategy has become with the winds in the Salt Barrens?
Oh, maybe she has to like tuck the cards up. Maybe she's got like a set of little pebbles or something, so she has to put them under pebbles as she lays them out, so there's sort of an extra layer to the ritual and normal.
So Moonbeam is off doing that just outside of the circle of wagons. Sirocco and Caden, what do we see when you're getting yourselves up and getting ready to head out?
I think like Sirocco, depending on not when they're at their worst, but typical desert winds, he probably does that thing that birds enjoy. I think Sirocco's probably no different, where he spreads his wings and he lets the wind just take you. Kind of just a
riding the
You know, you
thermals.
could just see. Yeah, you could see a creature doing that. You could just tell it's enjoyable. Like you're just riding this invisible wave, you know, and you're leaving the earth behind you in a set, you know, leaving the ground behind you a little, and effortlessly because the wind is doing the work. And it's just, you know, he wakes up with a little, you know, a little joy of a creature that can fly, kind of a.
And it would, I imagine, with the rising of the sun too, what you'd find is that the you know, with the incredible change in temperature, there'd be that uplift coming from the east as well. Once you're, you know, up and out for the day, this is where you really get a feeling from up high, Sirocco, just how far in the middle of fucking nowhere you are. Because what you see on the screen is in every direction right now. Only
I'll
4
keep
days
that
out.
to myself, except for like the caravan. You know, I mean, I'll wake up and I'll check in with her. I mean, that would be, you know, I'll have a meeting. You know, I'll have the morning meeting, and because you know we can't really talk until I come back down again, sort of thing. You know, without some hand signals or something, which I'm sure we have. I would think I would set up or something with her. Very basic, you know. But
You mean with
yeah,
a caravan leader?
Well, yeah, I was thinking caravan leader was who I'd have a meeting with in the morning before or whoever I, you know, before I go up into the air to. I'm the dusk person, I realize, but I'm just, you know, if I'm gonna fly around a little, I would check in with her to, you know, because I can't talk to her when I'm in the air. Yeah,
sure. Why don't you give us a intelligence check with? It's intelligence, not intellect, right?
intellect, I think.
Is it intellect?
It says intellect on my character sheet.
Yeah. So give us an intellect check with 2 banes, please. So when it asks you for boons or banes, put -2. I think.
Okay. Hang on a sec. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, surprisingly, we got 20.
Nice. All right. Do you have -1?
That's my worst. That's my worst attribute. Yeah. Sacrifices had to be made, GM. Sacrifices had to be made at Origin.
So you make your way up, you know, carried up, and you're fairly certain that while the caravan itself looks like a, you know, not a speck because you can't, you know, get that high up. It looks small in comparison. Well, you can see at the, I guess, the southeast of where you are, and you already have a small preview of the blinding nature of this light. Like, you've never known, sunlight is normally I imagine, a comforting thing for a flying creature that lived in a cage. It's liberating to be out in the air and whatever else. But in the daytime in this, it can be just punishing. And imagine, like, it's terrifying being blinded when you're on the ground. Imagine being blinded in the air. And having no way of judging how high up you are, how high you're falling, how off course you are. You may have... Is Sirocco the type to have stubbornly, you know, ignored the advice of others about potential blindness? Or would you have taken that...
I think, yeah, he's a mix. He's not overly hard-headed. I'm sure, you know what? He tried it. That's what he did. He definitely tried it, though.
That's
he's
what
not
I
going
thought.
to just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, he's not going to stick to it. If it's horrible, he's not going to keep doing something that's horrible, but he's going to try it.
Yeah. So one of the things with only, like, assuming you've got fast reflexes, with relatively good reflexes when you've first noticed it, the blinding only lasts for, you know, the dazzling effect passes after a minute or so. And perhaps that was enough for you to be like, fuck, never again. So you're risking it a little bit by looking in that direction. But what you can see is about maybe 4 miles away to the southeast of you, it does look like there is another grouping. Much smaller. And not, they do not appear to be riding, there's no, like, wagons. There appears to be, like, maybe one pack animal. That's it.
In what direction? So they're 4
South-
miles southeast of
Southeast
and
of you.
what direction are we going? What
East.
direction are we going again?
East.
We're going east.
Yep, due east.
I will flutter down. I will head down to report in
Okay.
my sighting.
So, Caden, what about you? What is your morning routine?
I think while he has left the college, he still has that sort of military discipline. So his first thing will be checking his gear,
Okay.
making sure his sword is ready, his shield, his armor. And while doing so, anyone observing him will notice that he sort of has this pendant around his neck that he will occasionally sort of touch and almost like not say anything or mumble anything, but just a moment of stillness. And the ones who have traveled with him will recognize that it has sort of a stylized raven with a crossed axe and sword, which is two of the symbols of hate, the colors of war and strife. Just almost, he's probably not even fully aware that he does that while he sort of prepares his weapons, and then he will go on and help with whatever needs doing, wrangling up fire lizards, carrying stuff back into wagons, just sort of helping around.
Okay. So you are doing so. Juggler, you're able to rest for a time afterwards. I mean, you're indefatigable. Indefatigable? That's the word, right?
I think so.
I always struggle with that one. Deprivation, exposure, suffocation. Yeah, so you do get tired, I guess. So it's nice to rest, and perhaps that's a reminder, how unusual unlife really is, because there's certain things that just don't, aren't concerns for you, and then there's other things like my legs are sore from walking all fucking night, right? Like that you wouldn't think of a walking corpse, or at least a zombie having. The camp is falling into its routine that it normally is. Everyone's getting up and getting ready to go, and Sirocco, you're able to fly back down, and you can quite easily see Master Zarpa, because she is, directing everyone to kind of get on their ways. You can see that Gunnar is... It's not clear what tradition he practices, but he does seem to be a wizard of some kind. You can see him getting himself ready for, whatever the day's magical requirements are.
Going forward, I will, in the future, I will definitely want to chat with him to see if he's open to chatting about magical subjects, since we have time, on a long caravan in the future, not now, but I will put it on my, make a note to myself. But sure. I will report into her that we have there's a small caravan 4 miles southeast with seems to be a single beast of burden.
Gunnar, she looks over at Gunnar, and Gunnar looks up from his preparations. He says, single. How many mounts? And you think there was probably... Yeah, there were smaller mounts in there. You're not familiar with them because you grew up in a cage. But the...
Yeah.
Is it a rat? It's not a rat. Okay, then I'm out. What you saw is probably about 14 smaller animals, and then probably a comparable number of people being around. The group itself looks to be about a quarter, maybe a little larger the size of what your caravan is.
14 mounts of undetermined type, and maybe that number again in unmounted caravan personnel, people.
She nods. Gunnar just simply says, taxman. And she nods. We'll redirect to the northeast and hope that they do not bother us, but if they do, he goes over to you. Tell your guard and your dead man to be ready.
Will do. There's people that tax out here? Like, tax us? Confused?
She looks at you like she doesn't have the patience for your bullshit. Gunnar kind of gets up and is like, they are bandits with the trappings of the old kingdom. Some claim to be road agents or frontier agents for the old country. or one of the kingdoms, claiming that there is a departure tax that is due.
I see.
They sometimes can be bought off. It other times can be a pretext for later waylaying. In any event, it is trouble, and trouble we best avoid.
Understood. And I touch my flask and I say, I appreciate your skills, sir. And then flutter off to, I'm starting the relationship with him of a compliment of his abilities.
So as he goes away, Gunnar looks over and Zarpa has a look on him of like
patronizing.
And he kind of shrugs and he's like, I'm likable. And then he gets up and carries on. So Sirocco comes, I'm picturing you kind of like hop fly, like when a bird is making its way, doesn't want to actually, So you make your way over to where everyone else is getting ready. Caden has finished, the last of the checking of his supplies. He looks like he's about to leave to go and help others. Juggler is resting his feet and maybe has his eyes shut and waiting. Juggler, one of the upsides to being the last watch is you don't have to get up again until everybody's ready to go. So you're relaxing. And Moonbeam, you can see, is returning, with a twinkle in her eyes. Clearly something good from the readings. Sirocco, what do you do?
I'll approach Caden. Perhaps at the tail end of his ritual, of his morning ritual. And we have company. We're going to try to avoid it. I've told Zarpa it's a small it's smallish compared to us, but she says it's probably trouble. Probably bandits, so we're going to try to avoid it, but look sharp. They are currently on a course that would probably intersect ours, and so we're going to try to avoid them.
If Caden, why don't you give us a intellect check, please, with one boon.
Oh.
Is that a nat 20? No, what happened here?
No,
it's the 6
on the boon.
It's the boon that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be unsuccessful right now unless Moonbeam wishes to...
Oh, Moonbeam's like the sugar mama the whole way through here.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure we're already an hour into the...
Okay.
I'll use my 16 on that one.
Okay, which means that's a 22. Caden, everything I've said about Taxman, you know all of that stuff. And if you have any further questions about it, you can ask me as the Weird Master, and I'll give you answers for what more you might know.
I guess Caden would, in his mind, are there any notorious ones? Is there one that stands out? Where it's like, oh, it's just like your standard Taxman. It'll be fine, but if it's Roderick the Black-Hearted or something, is there one that stands out above the others?
Yeah, they use branding. Turns out branding was not a good idea if you're a road agent. What I think you would know is less so, unfortunately, Sirocco, as good as his eyes are, he's not able to make out that kind of detail from that kind of distance. But what you would be aware of is with a group this size, there is very likely that either the number of combatants that are around here, and this is 50. This is fresh out with the expectation that not everybody's going to make it, that you're going to lean out over time. I think that there's not enough people to keep track of the entire caravan. 10 wagons makes a pretty long wagon trail, right? So what you know is that some of these things, they love to just, while keeping people busy at the beginning, dealing with the usual rigmarole, there's a real good chance that they're going to try and slip people in near the back or near the sides. So perhaps if you adapt the strategy, maybe like one of the upsides of the Salt Flats is that while in other places you have a single trail and you need to, set all the wagons out in a trail, one to the other to the other. Here, you could arrange them however you choose. You could stack them up to have, 2, 3, 3, 2, and have them in a tighter formation rather than one following onto the other. Makes it easier to kind of keep everything clustered together. And might be easier to identify when there are, if there's anyone trying to slip their way in. It does mean, or at least that kind of format would mean it would be a lot easier to spot, because that's a much bigger dust trail than a line of 10 traveling in the same path. So what do you make of all
Should
that?
be careful. He'll share that with his companions. It's like, we should be careful for infiltrators. I'm sure Zapper is aware of this, but it'll be easier if we all bunch up a bit. Easier to keep track of people, but it's easier to be spotted, so it's
Very good.
no single best solution, but if it's taxman, they might try and slip in a few saboteurs who would get us during the night.
Indeed. I hadn't even considered that.
You're a lot smarter than you look, human.
And Sirocco chuckles at that. I mean, that's classic.
Caden, did you want to share that insight with Zarpa? I think that likely comes from your military academy days.
Yeah. He'll try and he'll went his way to where she is, and that's
Yeah, so
he expects to already be aware of that. But yeah, he'll happily share that.
and she sees you coming over. Harpy's told you then?
Yeah, he has. Sounds like trouble. Possible infiltrators. So easy to do out here. Slip a few people in if we're spread out. Last wagon is an easy target. Anyone that briefly pauses or falls to the side, replace them with a few of theirs, and then during the night, when we're all nice and asleep and bunched up, they'll strike.
What do you recommend?
I mean, there's ways around that, passwords, markings, but it's only a few days that no one knows anyone or everyone on this caravan. Just by side alone, someone could walk up here and I wouldn't know if they'd been with us since we left the Old Kingdom or not.
What do you suggest?
Easiest would probably be to bunch up the wagons more, make sure we're not too spread out. Make sure everyone is aware of the danger. I mean, I don't want to instill paranoia, but, everyone is aware that to maybe, assume, and he'll ask you, assume the people in the wagons are not, families or it's just, a wild mix, right? And it's not like each wagon is a so they'll all be strangers, so just keep an eye out, bunch the wagons up, but obviously larger salt dust cloud will attract potentially other things out here.
And the passwords. That's a good thought. We want, if we run into them, and they are taxmen, we'll want to make a good showing of our capabilities. Even if it doesn't come to violence, to make them think twice. You and yours keep back. If you notice anything, deal with it. They're not...
Will do.
They're carrion eaters. They'll only going after things they think won't fight back. If you do find anything, make sure none get away, too. Best leave them questioning what we can do. Okay? Hopefully it will not be for... if we bunch up, it'll be easier for them to spot us.
I mean, from where they are, from what Sirocco said, I'd be surprised if they haven't already spotted us.
All right. before they get here, come up with your password plan and spread the word. Only among the watch, your dead man, and my men. But you're right, there's too many to keep track of names. But maybe warn them. Those in a wagon, stay in a wagon. Those outside, stay near the wagon. And learn the faces of the people you're traveling with. Will that work?
Nothing is ever guaranteed, but it'll give us a better chance.
This is when Gunnar walks up. And this is assuming none are changelings. She looks at him like, you... The way only a, long-term spouse can. Of like, God, you're stupid.
I suppose you don't have any cold iron lying around.
And he says, funny you mention that. I most assuredly do.
I mean, I don't know if that actually works. That's just something they taught us in the college that,
Yeah, I can't. Let's take a look here. So I'm trying to stay as true to the canon as is established in the books thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in the changeling traits makes it. Oh. You assume a target's appearance and retain it until you use this trait again, and this effect at any time an object. Anytime you touch an object made from cold iron.
There you go.
So, Gunnar goes in his one of his little pouches at his waist. And he pulls out a coin and spins it around. Lay this in the bare palm of any, and it will reveal it. He flicks it in the air and catches it, and then hands it to you, Caden. I trust this should settle any. Though, if we have changeling, we have a dead man among us. It's not to say we wouldn't have a changeling among us as well.
True, it was more of a, in case, go down the rabbit hole of that level of paranoia.
Indeed.
I think it just goes all the way down.
Then,
but this should come in handy.
Good. I found it to be in past. And there's a look between Zarpa and Gunnar that tells you, like, there is a story there. But they... Then she's got a lot to do to get the things rearranged, get the train leaders, the Teamsters organized to travel in a different way. She'll trust it to you and your folk to deal with this. So, Caden, what do you want to do? It's probably about an hour before everyone is finally up and organized to get the train moving again.
And I think after I'd left Caden, I would have bounced over to the juggler to inform him in the same way as I did Caden.
I assume you guys all did together, and the juggler is just, it's not
okay, good.
10 wagons circled is not a huge amount of area anyway, so I'm assuming it's just sort of the area nearest there. Juggler's eyes were closed, but he assures you he was listening.
Very good.
When you're telling a long story to your dad when you're a kid. It's like, I'm just going to close my eyes. It's going to look like I'm sleeping. I'm not. I'm listening really closely. So then, anything else you guys wish to do? And Caden, what do you do in that time?
I think he'll catch the guards or the caravaneers, the people that work for Zarpa, and he'll sort of give them the password, and then same for his companions.
Okay.
And then he'll probably wander around as everyone is sort of getting ready and just say, trying to downplay it slightly. He doesn't want panic to spread, but just like, hey, we will warn about the dangers. One of those dangers might be approaching. Just trust your companions. Keep an eye out on each other. Don't wander too far. And if you notice anything, anyone acting strange or unusual, let me or one of the caravan guards know, and we'll deal with it.
Okay. Why don't you give us a... I'm trying to remember, is it will that the social interaction rules use, or is it intellect? I was reading those this morning. Here we go. Here we go.
I think it's will for most of them.
Okay, why don't you give us a...
Unless...
Oh, go ahead, Sean. Unless...
I was going to say, unless deception or defeat deception or to deceive seems by intellect, but besides that, it seems will, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We were talking about narrative metacurrency. Guys, there is fortune. Page 50 of the thing. When the group does something particularly heroic or interesting, you can grant fortune as a reward. The group either has fortune or it doesn't. Granting this reward encourages good role-playing and investment in the story, as expending fortune can tip the scales in a player's favor. Any member of the group, with everyone's permission, can expend fortune to produce one of the following. Auto success. You use 20 as the roll's result. Heal all damage. Maximize damage, get a clue, or bend reality. So that might be bump into someone with the information you need, cause an unfriendly person to suddenly become friendly. So a little bit like narrative editing, the way that you can with some other narrative metacurrencies, but a little more strongly, but not quite as powerful as like some of those story game ones where you just declare shit and that's the way it is. You guys do not have fortune as of yet. But there is. I thought there was. Okay, so then give us a will check, please. At I think one boon, because your approach is sound here. Can you think of anything in your background or your profession that would come into play here?
No, I think it's either
threaten them.
Detriment.
Calm down, or I'm gonna take your fucking money.
Yeah, I think one of them would be like, intimidating people, and the other one is like a military, like barking orders at people and just assuming everyone has the right training to know what they're doing. So I don't think either of those necessarily would provide a boon.
Okay. So go ahead and give us a will check with a boon, please. Nice. Okay. So that is overwhelmingly well received. You can imagine there is nerves in the camp. Hearing that there are bandits nearby so soon into a 4-month journey has people pretty agitated. But you've done a really, really good job of keeping them. I'm telling him, really good job of keeping them relatively calm and following your instructions. Anything else you guys wish to do before the caravan sets out?
So I will let the group know that Zarper has asked that we must have maybe stay back, and during if we encounter them, and there will be negotiation where she wants us to sort of stay back and keep an eye out for any shenanigans and anyone trying, the distraction of the negotiation as an attempt to, and then she wants us to, in her words, but I agree with her, deal with it.
Any questions? Okay. I am going to switch our music up, guys, because as calming and relaxing as this has been.
It soon shall not be.
Well, let me just consult the notes that the Weird Master wrote for this. Holy shit! Nope. You guys are... All right. So, tell me what everyone's mood is like as you guys are setting out. And what are you doing as you're making your way along? The mood in the caravan, having made the change in the format, is not as easy as it seems. Some people are getting a little confused. The Teamsters, this is not how they're typically operating it, so it's taking them a little bit to get used to it. The Fire Lizards are used to just following the one ahead of it. So it does take a little bit more wrangling to get things going. It's moving a little more start, and the mood among the travelers, likewise, is a little more on edge, I think would be a fair way of placing it. How are our weirdos doing? And where do you locate yourself in the caravan? So Rocco, just to give you context for the light too, this is still a good 3 hours off before you're going to get into that blinding midday.
So it's still a good time for me to be in the air and doing my thing. I will do so, and I'm yeah, I think I'm in a relatively positive mood. I mean, I'm still a little, I think I'm a little euphoric. I'm latently euphoric from being free, from I've got an eyeball on things, which is always a little reassuring. You know, the unknown is the worst, and I can at least see them. And I stay alert, and
so
I really haven't. I think I'm kind of fresh out of the cage in a sense, you know, so I haven't really experienced things like this in, you know, however long that we've kind of in that undetermined amount of very long period of time of captivity.
One thing I will tell you is that if you are, because I don't think you're flying with any, you know, clothing or whatnot on, at this time of day, you'll be fine, but, if you're flying up until, like, you know, it becomes blinding, you will be risking exposure.
Okay.
And
that would be blinding and something else? Would it be...
No, exposure is a different condition.
Okay.
Where is it here? I believe it weakens you. Which is 1 bane on any strength or agility checks. So you'll launch yourself up into the air.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I think I got good energy. I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm sort of hopped up, if you will, of adrenaline. You know,
okay.
like, oh.
All right. What about the rest of you guys?
Moonbeam heard whispers of changelings, and so I think you see her slowly, like, going around, and when she's behind different people on the caravan, she's got her little deck out, and she's like cutting it and looking at the card and looking at the person and putting it back in her pocket and then moving on to the next person, as if she's trying to divine if they are a changeling.
Okay, so
she doesn't have any power, like real game power, to do that, but in her mind she's like marking them, like, oh.
I think fairies are or sprites are fairies as well too, so you actually might not react to cold iron particularly well either.
Oh, that's true.
Come to think of it.
So she would be not liking the talk of cold iron. And if there are some changelings amongst us that are causing this stir and cause for alarm, that would be dangerous, right? She doesn't want that talk of this.
So here's an upside. You're immune to exposure. So Moonbeam, you're actually not affected by the heat here at all.
Nice.
Sirocco, are you? Let's see here. No, you're unfortunately subject to it. Okay.
No iron issues, but I do have exposure issues.
And actually, I don't see anything. The sprites don't. I don't see anything about cold iron here. So maybe. Oh, here we go. So it might be because it says some fairies followed the elves because the mortals were spreading too thin, but your people refused. So it may be that because you remained in the mortal world, that's why you're not affected by cold iron the way that some other fairies are.
Yeah.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah. Okay. So then, Juggler, what about you? What are you doing once the whole caravan is up and moving?
Well, they said to walk towards the back of it, right? That's what the yeah. So I think he's gonna just kind of trail near or even slightly behind the back wagon. Just kind of watch things.
With your immunity to suffocation and your keener vision, you could actually walk in the wake, and because you're a rogue, you actually might be concealed in the wake, right? Sure. Without any kind of issue.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Yep.
I mean, that would be pretty scary for some bandit if they suddenly, out of the salt dust, this white covered revenant came. So, and Caden, what about you?
Yeah, I think he'll be sort of have weapon and shield at the ready, and he'll be sort of holding back, but not at the very back of the caravans, but just so that he can essentially, or probably more like to the center, trying to stay out of sight of if we were to be found, so that he's in the lee of a wagon, but so that he can rush to wherever trouble might arise.
Okay.
He fully assumes that they'll try and sort of get a few people to sneak around the back of the caravan, or maybe the north or the south, while they approach from their direction. So he'll just try and be ready to go in whichever direction is needed.
So, Sirocco, we're actually going to need 3 strength rolls from you. Actually, make it 2. I think the first hour will be okay, because this is the way exposure works.
Okay.
No boons or banes unless you've got some trait that would help you with hot weather.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice. Okay, you're fine for the first hour. Second hour, please.
Good start. Look at that.
There you go.
Nice.
I said it before. Everyone has their game. I believe we may have found yours there, Sean.
There you go.
Nice.
So yeah, it's as you said, it is scorching hot, but this is so much more comfortable than I think you've never realized how comfortable this kind of heat might be. So you're easily doing this. What you can see, assuming that you're keeping an eye out in that direction, is that they have decamped, and they seem to be keeping pace and potentially getting closer to the caravan. Unfortunately, it is getting too bright and too hot for you to carry on once those first 3 hours are done. And then the caravan will be taking its break while everyone, refreshes with water, rests in the hottest part of the day, and then Gunnar will bring in the clouds once again. And so it is after that first 3 hours, you guys all have a chance to come back together. Juggler is just fucking white head to toe. Moonbeam has been conducting her investigations for Changeling.
Yep.
Caden and you've not seen any trouble, nor seen any. The caravan seems to be holding together pretty well, morale-wise. And the Sirocco, you'll land back down with everybody, getting your, ration of water. What do you share with everyone?
Seeing they may have closed modestly, I report to everyone, and to, of course, Zarpa, and or Gunnar if he's nearby. So, look alive. The
break is a tense one. waiting, knowing that they are getting closer. The mood and these are the worst parts of the days when people's tempers are most frayed. But it seems that everyone is holding to what Caden had said, and it seems as if people are making efforts to get to know who is in their wagon now that they've got out and are taking their break in the shade. You can picture they've left the wagons where they are, but everyone has taken refuge on where the shade is deepest on this. This lasts for, I think it's like 3 hours. It's quite interminable. 4 hours.
I'll have... How many?
4 hours. For when it's blinding.
I have a little chat of like, do we think that is anyone capable of traveling in this? Would they be capable of trying to close in the hot heat and the interminable part of the day? I'll just part of my chatter during the break.
You know that. Go ahead, David. Sorry.
I think Caden will suffer while enjoying the shower coming down, filling up his water canteen. Well, I mean, Gunnar can make it rain in the desert. We must assume that others living out here or making a living from attacking caravans could have skills useful to that lifestyle.
Indeed.
What you would know, Sirocco, these are basic invocations used in the hydromancy school.
Which I have a little. I'm in the air area. I learned from my people. So as a child, since I had the spark, and so they
haven't you've been a captive since you were an egg, weren't you?
Well, I mean, because I had two. You get 2 areas of study, right? And my people do the aeromancy. So I don't know. We could say that I just had that in me.
Yeah, I could have natural talent for it, for sure.
Yeah, natural talent. That's fine. Either way. So, yep.
So the 4 hours. What you would know as well. Caden has made that as also Juggler when he's been keeping watch. There are the kind of like slit goggles, these wooden things that people are putting on to limit the amount of light that comes in. That still allows him to keep watch during the brightest times of day, because while those who rely on regular sight can be blinded, there's plenty of things in the desert that don't necessarily need that. So what you find is the rest goes relatively uneventfully. But almost immediately after everyone is getting up and getting ready to get going again, there is a bit of a hubbub that starts at the front of the caravan and makes its way back to you.
Uh-oh.
There are apparently people directly ahead of where the caravan is faced. This is about a half mile off, and if you guys either move to the side in order to get a point of view to it, what you can see is a number of individuals who are dressed like La, or Anna says, "Watch out." There's about 20 of them up front, and they have some kind of animal. I think that none of you coming from the Old Kingdoms would necessarily know them. It's not clear if they are a mammal or they are a lizard or they're a bird, but they kind of look like featherless ostriches, more lizard-like. But they have bits of fur near the bottom of the feet, so it's unclear. They could be mutants as well, some kind of mutant strain. It said that there's stranger things in the lands of the weird wizard. There's not 20 of them. There is about 12 of them. All not with weapons out, but weapons clearly displayed. And they seem to be dismounted and just waiting.
Sirocco, I assume those are the ones you saw?
Kevin, sounds like they.
The animals look, yeah, like this is much closer than what they are. You can see that, yeah.
Seems so, unfortunately. They've used the heat to get ahead of us as is probably their scheme.
Yeah, well, I'm more worried about the ones that would have snuck up behind us.
And Kevin, we're in the period of where it's going up is problematic, right? Go up to.
It'll be, you'll have to make it, if you're up for an hour, you'll have to make another check, but you could fly at this point. It's not like you're going to get scorched. The worst of the blinding light is going to be behind you now. So the sun is on its way towards its zenith. Is that right? Apex and zenith? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think you're good.
Social scientist, not a proper scientist. So
it's a fantasy world. It doesn't. It's
but yeah,
I'll take a quick leap into the air. I'll leap up at Caden's comment.
Okay.
Not as high as I do on lookout, but just enough to know that there's good sight. At least we have good sight lines. And
Sean, I can't remember how much D&D you played as a kid, but are you familiar with the familiar paradox?
No.
The paradox being that they are super fucking helpful to send up, to scout and whatnot, but they're also usually the first thing that's shot when it gets up into the sky. So, and they tend to not take hits terribly well.
And I'm the familiar.
Well, I'm not drawing the analogy between you and a talking crow, but it is a threat that it is an extreme advantage to be up in the sky. It is also unbelievably exposed.
Sure.
So perhaps you're about to do that, and maybe just so you can think about it, Caden may put his hand on your shoulder, like, are you familiar with the concept of skeet shooting?
I mean, I was thinking they didn't have their weapons out, but it wouldn't take much. I understand.
But that's the ones ahead you can see. If you're trying to spy ones, you can do it. Like it's just that it's something that I think likely would occur to Caden, and just something to be mindful of. Because your speed is a 5, right? When you're flying.
It is I think my speed is normally a 5, and if you're flying, it's 2 yards for every point of speed. So I'd be going 10 yards.
10 yards. Okay, so you're a little faster.
Yeah. Double the normal. Flying is double the normal thing.
So you're not like diving falcon kind of speed.
I think if you're diving, it may speed you up, but we'd have to read about that. I'm not really.
I think you might be making that up. So.
Come on.
But we immediately look that up. Yes, let's do that.
We can look it up.
But anyway, that's what. Yeah. So, Caden, maybe you're the one who would make him aware of the tactical vulnerability of.
Well, and I'll say, how badly do we want to know?
Well, we can make our way to the back of the caravan and keep an eye out from the ground.
Very good.
And we'll...
He hasn't been really shot yet. You don't get shot in a cage, so he's not fully he's probably braver than he should be slightly.
This game is just from a mechanical standpoint. The game is definitely more forgiving than what its predecessor was. But most weapons do like 2d6 damage.
Yeah.
Right, and you've got 12 hit points.
Right.
So
we're level 1, too. That's not helpful.
Yeah. It does sound like you got plans for Sirocco, so I want to make sure that you've got all the warning available to you for what might happen. But what do you guys? I guess the other thing that's a downside too is if they're sneaking up from behind, that's the direction the sun is too. So it's not even like you can hide yourself in the sun, Millennium Falcon style, and come out. They would likely be benefiting from that. So what do you guys do? Everyone else, the caravan guards have made their way to the front of the caravan, and you can. Unless one of you is keeping watch out there, then I'm assuming that you guys are staying at the back of the caravan as you had agreed to.
Yeah, Caden will climb on top of, not like on top, but just on the flatbed of the furthest out wagon and
Yep.
see if he just can get a better vantage point to keep an eye out for anyone trying to sneak up from behind.
Sure. And Sirocco, Juggler, Moonbeam, what are you guys doing?
So we're gonna stay in the back, right?
Yeah, following instruction, I wouldn't go against the caravan leader's wishes here.
Yeah.
And I'll probably hover at about the level that Caden is at. You know, hover in flight just at a low level, like if I was standing on a wagon like he is.
You can't hover.
Oh, I can't hover?
You're not a helicopter. No.
Well, just I can't fly in one spot. No. I can't. Okay. I guess I'll look for Zarpa to see if she has, like, is she shouting anything? You know, is she leading? Is she?
If she's going to be at the front of the caravan, though. So if you're going to that, then you're leaving everybody to go to the front of the caravan.
So okay. So I couldn't hear her shout from where we're at. Let's say.
No.
All right. Well, I'll go up and see if she's yelling anything. I say.
Okay. So you guys will see Sirocco leaving.
I'm to see if there's any instructions.
Sirocco, we have our instructions. They have to back deal with any trouble. There's a moment of the military training surfacing in Caden. There's maybe a little bit of a sharper tone than he intends when he says, we have our instructions.
Says, all right.
What you could do, Sirocco, is you could, easily alight up to the top of a wagon. And if you wanted to try remaining hidden up there, you could do that, but that also would give you a better angle for seeing even than what Caden does. You can't hover, in place, but you can get yourself up to higher places.
Sure. Yeah, I'll flutter up.
Okay. So Sirocco is atop one of the wagons. If you're trying to hide yourself, go ahead and give us a agility check. It's agility, right?
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. Juggler and Moonbeam, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, the dust cloud probably dissipates relatively quickly, right?
Yeah.
The movement. You know what? He's just gonna. Maybe he's gonna.
Like, you're quite well concealed. I imagine you've got a heavy a heavy deposit of salt dust on you. I grant you a boon if you want to hide yourself, even though you're not in.
I'm gonna do that because I'd look dead anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a cast off. They just tossed me aside as I die.
Okay. Do you have anything because you're a rogue? Is there any class-related thing that grants you a boon as well?
Not for that. I have the dodge thing, and I have the trickery, which is like sneak attack.
What does trickery do?
So trickery, you can use this talent to make an attribute roll with one boon. When you use this talent to roll to attack with a boon, your attack deals d6 damage.
Oh, so that's what I'm asking. You can then roll with 2 boons, right? One boon for situational, one boon from trickery.
Okay.
So go to agility with 2. Well, you're not dodging anything, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dodging gives me an agility, a boon too. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So give us an agility check with 2 boons, please, Juggler. And then Moonbeam, what are you doing?
Jeez.
Oh no.
This game hates me.
Well, Moonbeam, one thing you could
help you.
What you can see, Moonbeam, is that Juggler has done a terrible job of hiding, as has Sirocco. And you do have 2 dice left.
I do. I think I will try to hide 2, and then based on that, I will sort of adjust everyone's hide. Maybe, like, if I succeed, maybe I help them hide. But if I need to hide myself, then... So it's an agility roll, correct?
It's an agility roll. And do you have anything that grants you a boon from it?
I don't think so. I mean, other than being small, but I don't think there's any mechanical rules for being small in this.
So go ahead and give us an agility check then, please.
It is just my ability to hide. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some amazing rolls.
Now, these are contested rolls, so what that means is that those are the difficulties for anyone trying to spot you. It's not a 10, but do you wish to make any substitutions for anybody?
You know what? I think she'll help her friends, seeing as I do technically have the highest roll.
Okay.
I think she's too busy helping them hide, just put this bit of sand here, just sort of helping them that her last minute spot she picks isn't the best. So that's a 17 for Juggler. And Sirocco gets a 20. Wow, Sirocco, you get a 20.
You got a nat 20 on your agility check.
Wow.
But I am hidden not great.
Moonbeam's going to remember this. I'm going to owe Moonbeam. I got this feeling.
Hey.
All right, and Caden, you are not concealing yourself at all? Or you...
No, he's just standing in the back of a wagon, but he's not actively trying. He's like, there's a lot of him, so he's not actively trying to hide.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just double checking something here. Oh, okay, right. All right, so what I'd ask is Sirocco and Caden, why don't you each give us a intelligence or intellect check, please?
Excuse me.
If you've got keen eyes, right, Sirocco?
I do.
Keen vision, yeah. So you'll get why don't you take a boon with that roll?
Okay.
And let me roll 4. Nice.
Nice.
Okay, and okay. So, Caden, you're not able to spot anything that is approaching here, but there we go. Boy, I'm getting some mileage out of these books today.
Nice.
Love it. I do really like these books too. Like, they're really nice to work with.
That's great.
Yeah. Here we go. I think I'm going to switch up. We've got past the tense moment here, and this fucking track's about to give me an anxiety attack. The constant tension the entire time along is... That's not what I want either. But that'll do for now. Okay, I've got... We are. So, Sirocco. Let me move these out of the way so I can get things set up here. What you can see is that there is a group of 7 folks who seem to be approaching. And let me just get this set up. There we go. Okay. Okay. They are about maybe 15 yards away when you first see them. And let me just get this down here. I think what we'll do is we'll get Sirocco's reaction to this. They have not seen you, Sirocco, but they do seem to be sneaking towards the wagons, and they most definitely have weapons drawn. There is no mistaking what their intent is here. Move this up. Move it up there. Okay. Oh, I have one too many, I think. So, they are roughly 15 yards away when you spy them, Sirocco. Do you think that you landed atop the same wagon where Caden is? There will be 4 wagons in the back to make up the 4 rows or columns of wagons. Would you be the same one or a different one?
Maybe the one next to him.
Okay. And then Caden, which one do you think you would be in? If we're going left to right, there's 4 of them looking from the back. Would you be in one of the middle ones? Would you be in one of the end ones?
I think one of the middle ones.
Okay, so then the 2 of you are in like the 2 middle ones. They all seem to be making their way across, and like, notwithstanding how wide and flat this stuff is, they are very hard to see. There's some kind of like diaphanous cloak they've got over them that seems to be concealing. It looks like, imagine a cloak made of kind of like cheesecloth. It would move very easily, but it's very hard to see where they are. It's only your keen vision, Sirocco, that you spotted these guys. So they are armed. 4 of the bandits have bows out. And I'll put them in blue here. And the other... Oh, the leader in white has a bow. The other 2 have clubs of some kind. Crude cudgels that are drawn. Sirocco, what do you say?
I point and stage whisper, Aiden! So that's the least amount of noticeability for them, but, definitely get Caden's attention that here they come.
Caden, give us a D6 roll. Let's see if a boon will help you. You see them. You are outnumbered, and they are approaching. They seem to be aware of you, and when they see you, they say, we don't roll initiative in this game, so they can't really say roll initiative. What they will say instead is, let's take our mid-session break. Because we're already past that. We'll take our mid-session break, and then we're going to have a scrap, guys. So get ready for a fracas. Okay. For those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right. Hey, everybody in chat. Hope you're having a great weekend thus far. It's really nice here today, my goodness. Anna Banana has so much mud to find in the backyard. She's got little, I don't know if it shows up in photos, but she's got little white boots. You know, like the bottom of her paws are little white stuff, so you can tell when she's been in the mud, because they're just come in caked in black instead. All right. Then, guys, so here is one of the interesting things where Shadow of the Weird Wizard differs from Shadow of the Demon Lord. I get to go first with all of my adversaries, unless you guys spend a reaction to go first. Then you can choose to go in any order that you want, but your reaction, it means that you will not have, let's see here, you will not have a reaction for this round then, but it means that you can go before the adversaries. So.
And they're close, you said. They're, right?
15
they're within
yards,
15 yards.
15 yards away right now, yeah. So,
and reaction is something you'd use to defend yourself, I assume?
Reaction is also used for like free attacks, to dodge. When a creature attacks you and something rolls against your agility, or you're using agility to resist a harmful effect, you can impose a bane on it. So yeah, like there's good reasons to... and then withstand is the strength equivalent of that. Cover an ally is when an enemy attacks an ally within reach, you can use a reaction to switch from the enemy's target to yourself. Catch is when you try and catch something that's been thrown at you using agility. Or take the initiative.
Is that list in the book? That's in the CRB?
Yep, 48, 49 of the Shadow of the Weird Wizard, not secrets.
Nice. Yep.
So,
I think I'm going to jump out in front here. I'm going to do it.
Okay, so your reaction, you have an action. What are you doing? You can move as well?
Casting, I think.
What are you
I'm
casting?
seeing so many bows. Let's see here. I'm going to cast a wall of wind.
Okay. Where do you want to position that wall?
Against the bowmen, the best I can.
So it'll be 5 yards from them because it's within 10 yards.
So in between us, does that work? That 10 yards in between at 15 yards?
Yeah, absolutely. So strong winds blow through it. 3 banes on attacks with range attacks going through it. That's excellent. All right. Anyone else wishing to use a reaction to seize the initiative?
Yes, Caden wants to.
Okay.
He'll leap off his wagon and just stride out. I think human speed is 5, so stride out, shield and sword ready, and make himself an obvious target.
Okay. Excellent. And Moonbeam or Juggler, do you want to seize the initiative or wait for them to go?
Nope. I'm hoping that my hiding is working. I don't know if it doesn't work.
Yeah, me too. I guess I'm still hiding, so I think it's working.
Okay. Okay, so then we'll go with the villains here. Let's see here. Here we go. So that's interesting. Withstand and dodge help against agility and strength, but not defense. So you actually don't have a reaction that'll help you boost your defense score. All right, so then with you guys casting, I have, let's start with the minor bandits. Man, so why'd you close that book? Here we go. You know, when I backed it, I got the regular version and the limited edition books too, and I was like, I don't need to have both versions of it out. Probably next month, guys. We're getting all 4 out. We're justifying all those purchases. All right, so then I have I need 3 banes. Oh, I got one on this though. So they are going to shoot. I've got 2 shooting at Sirocco. So first, Sirocco, does a 14 hit your defense?
I got a bad feeling. That is, let's see, defense is 12.
Okay. So that is a hit with a bow. You take 7 points of damage from that first shot.
Okay.
And then the second is... no way that hits. Kaden, does a 11 hit you?
It does not.
Okay.
Nice.
And does a 10 hit you?
Nope.
Oh, why if an 11 didn't?
Well, you never know.
Object
He's
permanence.
testing you.
It's a little tricky for me.
Say, Kevin, we talked about what
Odd
bars we
versus
need on the...
even.
Oh.
No, odd versus even, you know? That's
Yeah.
a hit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. We might want to put damage as a bar. You have health on there, but damage is the other one. Just throwing that out there because it's not going to affect my health, but my damage just went up to 7. Throwing it out there for you.
Oh, right. It works differently in this, doesn't it? It goes up to
It
a
does.
certain
Oh, yeah,
point.
you don't count down hit points. You count
Yep.
up damage. And
Count
then
up.
Yeah.
You count up damage until your damage equals health, and then your health counts down. So having both bars is
Okay, here we go. So, damage.
And so I think some things damage your health directly.
Yeah.
Rather than giving you
Got
damage.
it. Okay, so your blue bar will be your damage then.
nice.
Here we go. Damage. Where is it? There we go.
What is your damage equal to?
0, and then you count it up to your health.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
And
When your
health
damage
should be-
equals half your health, you're injured, which might trigger mechanical, like you're bloodied.
Yep. If you take more damage, your health goes down at that point. You're so.
Okay. Oh, it's like 2. Yeah.
If your health reaches 0, you're dead. That's the,
Yeah. Stamina and wounds. Yeah, okay.
I believe.
Did you say that's the goal?
Did not say that. No, you are mistaken.
No, sorry, I missed it.
Mistaken, sir.
I have my GM headsets on. Forgive me.
It's the wind. It's that wind
Yeah, it's
effect. I call that some serious wind.
All right, and I'm gonna roll randomly here. 1, 2. All right. So Sirocco, unfortunately, you are the target. They chose you. That is a nat 20, so that is an 18.
Ouch.
Fortunately, it's +0, so it's not 5. Oh, it is 5 more than what I needed, right?
Yes.
Anyone remember what a critical hit in combat does?
Boy. I feel like I just read it too, but I can't remember. Let's see.
So combat is before equipment here. Let's see.
Yeah. Test damage.
Maybe it'll be under the general rules here.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if there is critical hits in the game, to be honest.
I think there is. So I, as a fighter, have a special ability that lets me do extra damage when I score critical hits. It might just be a
Oh,
based
it's
on
triggered
talent
by.
rather than it.
I like that. Yeah. So it's not
general.
Yeah. Okay. So then, in which case, then Sirocco, that is another 5 points of damage, and
That puts me equal to my health exactly.
okay.
Just for our.
Then the other 2 are going to charge in, and they're going to have to make a strength roll in order to make it through, right? Yeah, push back into the thing. All right, so let's make the strength rolls for these guys. One of them gets through, one does not. Whoa. And that is it for them. Juggler and Moonbeam. One of those guys is now about 5 yards away from the caravan, has managed to push through. The other is sort of stuck at the wall 10 yards away. What would either of you like to do?
I don't know. Is Juggler gonna act? Moonbeam's not necessarily moving from her spot.
Yeah, I mean, Juggler can, like, sit up. He's in the wall, though, right?
One has made it through. One has been rebuffed by the wall.
Yeah, this guy here.
Yeah.
This guy's kind of isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he could sit up and shoot with a bow.
Juggler would?
Yeah.
Did he have a bow ready?
I don't know how that works. He has a bow on his character sheet.
So, but at the very least, what you need to do is describe narratively what you're intending on doing, and then we can interpret it by the rules. So,
yeah, that's probably true. Maybe it's either just sit up and throw a dagger.
like if his bow is the more effective weapon than the dagger, that's totally reasonable for him to have done.
I think it's about the same. I think a dagger is more pragmatic. It's easy. I can't see how the bow, unless you stick an arrow in the sand, in the salt, and then people can see it.
Yeah.
So he just looks dead. He just sits up and he's got like a brace of daggers. He throws a dagger.
Okay.
Right.
You have not used trickery this round.
Right. So I don't. So what do I do? So,
oh fucker! You're incapacitated.
Yeah, I went down. Draco's down.
We have a bird down.
It didn't take long. The harpy's down.
Dang.
Did I mention the harpy bones are hollow? They're a little bit light. You know, it's not. They're not tanks.
You don't enter a dying state or anything like that, do you?
No. Yeah. Now I count down against health. Health goes down from here if I take more damage, and once I get to 0, I would die. So I think I'm pretty good unless I take further damage right here.
Okay.
And at the end of each round, you lose 1d6 health. Make a luck roll.
David is
keep
correct.
losing health.
Oh man!
That's right. It is automatic. You're right.
It's on page 29. Like you're bleeding out, buddy.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Moonbeam, do you have some healing?
Run, everyone, run!
I don't, not that I know of. I mean,
leave me behind. Run!
Skill for it or anything.
Okay. Here, you know what? Here, let's do this. Sirocco, give us a luck roll. I have a thought here.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, so you slumped, and because of your positioning, you actually slide relatively painlessly off of the thing onto the ground. So at the very least, people are aware that you are down and dying. It's not going to be of like, did we always have that stain in the ceiling?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, so Sirocco is injured. Juggler, you were going to make an attack.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Hit the strength thing, right?
I think you can click on the weapon and then just click one boon.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming you're using your trickery.
Yep.
Right?
Dang. Well, at least I didn't roll a 1 this time.
Yeah, it's a progress. That is definitely a silver lining on it. All right, so Juggler, you throw, and this guy is trying to figure out why a corpse suddenly got up and threw something at him. Moonbeam, anything you wish to do, or are you going to not pass this round? You did just see Sirocco hit the ground.
Yeah, and I see that this guy is close by. I'm gonna try and use my spell on him.
Okay.
And I shall pronounce his doom.
Oof, what does this do?
This is, if it works, he is afraid of me, I believe. I will roll it into the chat.
Okay. Nice. 17.
So I reveal something dreadful that's about to befall him.
Target becomes...
The sands of the desert shall consume you.
Okay. So a will roll with 1 boon. He has -2 to his will.
No, 1 bane.
Oh, 1 bane, sorry. I was going to subtract it, but... Fuck.
Right.
I rolled a nat 1, and I rolled a 6 on the bane, and he's got a -2. So whatever you say to him...
Of me.
Yeah, I think he's going to run. In fact, like that's as bad of a roll as he possibly could have got. He's sort of, the dead man comes up and throws something at him, and then you talk about like the thing, and he's like, "It's a caravan of dead people!" And he turns and is going to run. All right, so that brings us to the end of round 1, guys. We're on to round 2.
Oh my God.
Spicy.
Anybody?
So, Kevin, do I roll, being the end of round, do I roll a d6 at this point?
Just checking here. Let's see. If you're incapacitated at the end of the round in combat or a situation using rounds, you lose 1d6 health, and then make a luck roll.
Oh yeah.
On a
Here's my
success, you
D6.
heal 1d. So you roll 1d6. Oh, this is fucking brutal. Oh,
Brutal. That's rough.
okay.
And but here's the thing: if this luck roll happens, I think I stop doing that because I get a damage, and I get 1 damage back, which keeps me from having to go through that cycle. I think.
Yep. So go ahead and give us a luck roll.
Come on now, right here. Let's go. Oh, dude.
Oh my god!
You know what? But playing a harpy, I got a little taste. I got a little taste of playing a harpy.
Sean's intent is 10 characters, 10 sessions.
Right.
It's going to be amazing.
I mean, did you see how many ancestries there are? There's a lot. You can like.
There are a lot of cool ones.
There are a lot of cool ones. Okay.
We're going to be revenants by the end.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You could be that change when we find with the iron coin.
Yeah.
All right. So you hit the ground. You are bleeding out. Round 2. Anybody wish to spend a reaction to go first?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you doing, Caden?
Hayden will, seeing that this is maybe not going the way he would want it and missing a sort of properly ordered, cohort of his adamant host brethren, will rush forward towards the nearest of these bandits and just try and cut them in half.
Okay. So the nearest one is that one that was terrified. I'll give you an extra boon on it. He is well and truly freaked out by Moonbeam's freaky pronouncement and Juggler the Dead coming back to attack him.
Do I see that they're about to run away?
You likely know when someone's morale is broken, yeah. If you're going to go for the
Because if
others,
there's someone,
unfortunately, there's nothing else.
There's someone else in range.
Not on this side of the wall, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it might deter some of the others, so yeah, he'll go after that guy, and maybe the others will think twice.
Okay.
So that's 2.
So it'd be, I think, what, 3 boons? Are you
3.
kidding?
Okay, only rolled.
Well, you got 1 from him being scared. No, 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
It would have been awesome damage, but nah.
yeah.
Dreadful roll.
All right. So you race forward. Unfortunately, that is not going to connect. Anyone else spending their reaction to go before the...
So surprisingly, I think I am. I have a spell specifically for this situation. I'm going to put it in the
I didn't know
chat
you had
now.
a spell that called Roll New Character. That's weird.
It's called Cheat Death. It's called Cheat Death.
Here we
my
go. Here we
friend.
go. Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good.
You become injured or incapacitated. Heal 2d6 and make a luck roll. Okay. I love the end of that.
This is part of the snippets that I read in the book over my captive's shoulder.
Okay. So then, we'll have it trigger now. So why don't you roll 2d6?
Okay. That's pretty good.
Nice. Okay. So and then it heals over from the health you've lost or what?
I have no idea. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh,
So your
26
damage cannot exceed your health, right? So your
true.
damage currently is 6 because your
So my
health
damage
is 6.
is 6. Good call. And now my damage, and it specifically uses the word damage. So my damage is healed up to 10, so that goes to 0. Damage is at 0.
Yeah.
There we go.
Those damages at 2. You were at 12.
I was at
Yeah,
6
but-
because when my health went down to 6, my damage is mandatorily has to go down to 6. I believe it actually states that in the book, right,
Sammy's lowest-
David? Do you remember that?
Yes, I think damage cannot exceed health, which is why when you roll a successful luck check and heal 1 damage, it makes you conscious because
I
you're
would
no
suggest
longer.
it makes that specific point in Benford's Bad Day in the example. It's one of those where the example
Okay,
is more
let's see.
specific than the rule.
Sirocco's bad day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sirocco's very bad, no
It's
good
a
day.
4.
Yeah.
Justice health score. Okay, so end the round. Can't have more damage than health.
Yeah, that's it.
Boy, that is a bit convoluted. But
It is a little.
yeah. Okay.
So I think his damage went down from 12 to 6 when his health went to 6.
Yeah,
and now
so
he
you're
gets
back up
healed
now. So that's
again.
nice. So it does keep you on that. It keeps the teetering on the brink of if you take
Does.
12 damage, you're.
Especially if you have a spell called Cheat Death.
Yes. Now give us a luck
Like
roll.
the luck roll, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
There you
Okay.
go. Okay. Where do you want to be? You back on
I
top
think
of the.
it's up to you, I think.
No,
isn't
no.
it?
On a fail, I get to choose.
Oh.
Yeah, an empty space of
Gotcha.
your choice within 50 yards.
Ah. Gosh, there's probably, there's no point in getting fancy, I think. I wish there was, but I don't think there is some kind of 50-yard fanciness. I think I just go back into the, I can't think of one. I go back to the wagon.
You're on top of the wagon again? Okay. All right. So that would have happened instantaneously. Then you will, if you want to spend your reaction. Oh, this was a reaction, wasn't it?
This was reaction, yeah.
Right. Okay. So then you don't have a reaction this round. You'll be able to act on the player's turn, though. So, Juggler Moonbeam, do either of you wish to spend your reaction to go before the enemies?
Is the wall still up?
Yep. For 3 minutes.
Oh, wow. Dang. Okay. And this guy here, like halfway in, halfway out, or just stuck?
No, you've been rebuffed by the wall. He's on the other side of it.
I'm just going to get up and attack this guy.
Okay. Standing. There's a whole thing about standing using part of your things, but I think you'll be able to reach this guy. That's fine.
Yeah, we just got to start whittling him down.
Go ahead. Another dagger out. Oh, you can just leave your character up there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not using a battle mat anyway, so go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. Any boons or banes?
If you're using trickery, you're always using 1.
Okay.
Let's see. Whoa!
Nice.
That is a nice one. Do you do extra damage when you hit with trickery?
Yeah, another D6.
So go ahead and give us a D6 roll.
4.
Whoa! There you go. Look at that. Big hit.
All right.
Okay. Then, so you stagger forward and plunge your dagger into this guy. The dead! He is absolutely terrified by this. Oh, you don't have anything that triggers on a critical hit, do you? It's only Caden? That would have beaten his defense by... Okay. So then, Moonbeam, do you want to go on before the enemies, or you want to go...
Yeah, so I think she gets out her she's a quarterstaff.
Okay. I think at your size it's technically a 1/8 staff.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. She gets out her little
Wow.
I don't have it added to my character sheet though. I don't know where the weapons go.
In the central part, it has attacks just under where the attribute.
Oh, there. Yep. Oh, okay. I'll have to look up quarterstaff.
I think you... Oh, no, there is no there's no compendium. Is there? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So she just gets her quarterstaff out this turn. I'll look it up.
Well, here, why don't you look it up and then you just give us a strength... I think it's a strength weapon, isn't it?
Yeah.
So give us just give us a strength check. You don't. You don't have like attack modifiers or anything like that in this game.
No, I don't.
So.
Okay.
Try and whack this guy in the shins.
No.
Okay. Then. So I will say because defense technically. Oh, what was that?
So a quarterstaff is nimble, so you could use your agility instead of your strength. In that
I
case,
can. Okay, that's good because
nice.
my agility is three times better.
Oh, then that's a hit. That's a hit then.
Nice.
Go ahead
It's
and
plus
roll.
3 instead of -1.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's the damage on it? Is it 2d6?
1d6.
1d6.
Okay, so 1d6.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
Oh, light nimble 1d6. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Roll d6. Oh, these shins are
Okay,
stinging.
so I think
Nice.
he staggered back a little bit as Juggler stabbed him, and Moonbeam, you catch him in the the temple with just the tip of your thing, and woof, he drops down bleeding out. Then you're all exposed now, so we're gonna have the rest of the bandits open fire. Moonbeam. Oh,
Could I have taken an action? I used my reaction for that spell.
reaction is what you need in order to go before the enemies.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
so
good.
they go.
Sorry.
They go.
Carry
Yeah.
on. Ignore me.
Okay, that's okay. The Anna was on your side. Moonbeam, I miss. There's no way that's a hit. Juggler does. Oop, I need to roll 2 dice. There's no way that hits. Sirocco. There's no way that hits. And Caden. There's
Oh.
no way that hits either. The
Hold on, I do have something. I have this as well.
while you were not
Any
in.
attack against me until I'm hurt has Bane.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Okay,
And I actually have.
Oh, and you have boon on attacks.
Yeah, I have Boon. Yeah.
that's really good. Okay. The
Sweet.
This guy was trying to move through.
lead,
right?
yeah, he's gonna push himself through again. See if he can actually get through this time. He does. Pushes through, and he is going to run up on you three. Let's see who's going to attack. 3. That means Caden. Any modifiers I need to know about on my side?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. So then his club does a 19 hit you.
That does hit, yeah.
Okay. That is 8 points of damage. So he races over here and clubs you. The boss is going to try and push his way through to, let's see, succeed. So the boss is also through the wind wall. Then we have Sirocco. What are you doing?
I am going to. Who is So I have a lot of enemies within 15 yards. I assume.
You do, yeah.
I am going to use a little magic,
Okay.
and I think in my. I think I'm going to try something I saw over my captive's shoulder. I didn't get to read the whole thing, so I'm a little. But I'm
Yeah.
going to give it a run. I'm pretty sure I saw enough. So I form this orb and I fire it out
Okay.
at a. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Sure.
Stop talking in a minute here, but I aim at a size 5 space with only enemies is my intent. That's what I want to
Okay.
find.
Okay. You could target one of the 3 groups with that.
Excellent. I will do so with the one nearest me, if there is one.
That will include your allies as well.
Then I do not do that. That
Okay.
I read enough. I read enough of this book to know that that is a bad idea. I just saw just enough that is a bad
Okay.
idea. And I look. Okay, the next space over.
So I'll
is
say
that
the
have
ones-
any ally?
I do have bad news. The others are at 15 yards. The only ones that are within 10 yards are. One of them is engaged with your allies. One of them is within 10 yards, within 5 yards of your allies. So you could try and situate the thing. If you want to catch just the boss in this, you could do that.
I will do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll your d6.
All right.
CRB 91. Let's see.
I'm pretty
Got it.
sure I read enough of this book. It should be fine.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't read enough of this book, but next time, let's see. So that is a bad. I'm positive that's a bad result.
Sorry, weird orb. Oh, okay.
A weird orb.
Page 90 of the print version, by the way.
Oh, 90. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
90.
1. The orb flies to the center of the space and pops, sending multicolored streamers into the air that disappear a few moments later.
Take that! And I let this, but it looked dramatic, though. It was very
Very
dramatic.
dramatic. I do not doubt. All right. That brings us to the end of round 2, guys. We're at top of round 3. Anybody spending their reaction to go before the bad guys?
Oh, Caden, you didn't go? Or you did go?
Everyone, they took. They went before.
I failed miserably.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
I will not go before. I will.
No, I'll wait.
Stand my ground.
I think I'll keep my reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rocco, Moonbeam, you going before the bad guys, or are they going?
No, I'll continue that.
Okay.
Go after them.
Caden, this guy is going to first try and bean you once again. Does a 18 hit you?
It most certainly does.
Okay. That is only 6 points of damage.
Well, in which case, I will trigger my combat recovery.
Okay.
So I heal half my damage total, so it would be 8 plus 6, 14, so I healed 7.
Nice. Is that a reaction?
Yes. I can do it as an action or a reaction.
Very cool.
And then I impose 1 bane on rolls to attack me until the start of my next turn.
Excellent. Okay. So what does that look like? So I guess you're at, what, 7 damage right now?
Yeah, we're going, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it'll be, as of things he has an opening at the last moment, I interpose my shield, and sort of it strains my muscles more, but it sort of also gives me the sort of like, not today, buddy.
Love it. Okay. The boss guy. Now that he's through, he's going to line up a shot. Ooh.
Covered in confetti now.
Oh, Sirocco. You have drawn attention to him. Streamer magic.
I mean, he is just those streamers. He looks silly, though. He looks silly.
He does look quite silly. Any boons or banes I need to know about?
No, I have a spell ready if he hits me.
Although you have
a reaction.
Yeah, and you have a reaction where
spell.
you... Oh, no, you can't impose it. That's only for agility things. Okay, so then let's see here. Does a 15 hit you?
It does, and I have this spell that's a reaction. Check that out.
Okay. Gets a successful roll to attack. You reduce the damage from the attack by 1d6. Then a slippery trait. If it gets a success on a roll to attack you, it counts as a failure. Instead, if it's an even number. Cool. Okay. So your reaction is active. Let's see here. Give us a d6 roll.
Okay.
I rolled 7.
4.
So you take 3 points of damage. It was grazing attack.
Yep.
He's infuriated that he hasn't got you yet. Then we'll do 1 on Sirocco with 2 beans. An 11 Sirocco. Does that hit?
No, I'm a 12.
You're 12. Okay, great. Moonbeam. No way that hits you. Juggler, you're in combat. I think when you're in melee, firing into melee gives another bane, doesn't it? There's a whole bunch of little things that are encapsulated by just add a bane in.
I don't recall.
Within reach of an enemy is 1 bane.
I don't think there's one for target being in.
Okay, so no penalties. That's cool. It makes there's a logical sense to it, but it's also kind of not fun to be missing constantly with range attacks as a player. Okay, so then I've got 2 banes. Against Juggler, there's no way that hits. Against Sirocco, no way that hits. Against Caden, no way that hits. Okay.
Okay.
That is the end of our bad guy's turn. Heroes, what are you guys doing?
I will try and cut the person in front of me in half.
Please
There
do.
you go.
This time, hopefully, successfully.
Come on, big money. Let's see. Whoa!
Yes.
If you have anything triggered by a critical, that can trigger.
Yeah, I do. I can roll the damage a second time and take the better result.
Okay.
And because my weapon is slashing, it does 1d6 extra damage on the critical hit.
Fucking nice one.
So that's better base damage.
And
So 10.
what does it look like as you take this bandit down?
I think because I feel like arrows would have jutted into his shield, so just to like smash him to the side and just with a massive sort of hew down, like sort of cut across.
Yep. Down. Next, players.
I'll go ahead, Jeff. You got.
Oh, I mean, I was just attacking the guy in front of me, so it's not.
I'm just attacking.
Yeah.
So the only the other guy is not actually engaged. Boss is not engaged with anybody yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move up and engage him then.
Go ahead, give us attack.
Well, first then. So maybe I have some room to attack him without hitting anyone else before you go. Then.
Can we do
Juggler?
that? Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Can I,
Players decide which order you guys go in.
I've got the hang of it now, so I am going to form another orb and fire away with this thing.
Okay.
Let's see. I can put it in the. There we go. Once again.
Yep. Give us D6.
D6.
More streamers. No.
Oh, more streamers.
Yep. What are you trying to achieve?
You know, the first one's just confusing. The second one, seriously? What is he doing?
Yep. Juggler, you're up now.
Yeah. Now I will go up.
Okay, so you race in on this guy. Go ahead. If you're using trickery, roll 1 extra dice.
Yep.
Or 1 boon.
Oh.
That is a hit and a crit. I don't think you've got anything that triggers the slashing thing. Is that only from fighter or from warrior?
It's a weapon property.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't think a dagger is. Right.
No, I think dagger.
Does dagger have some other property that triggers on a crit?
Yep.
Dagger has light, nimble, and thrown, so nothing that triggers on a crit.
Okay.
So I get the extra.
Okay, so
just the
5
D6.
gives us a 1d6 extra from your nimble.
8.
8. Nice. Look at this. Nice. Okay. Moonbeam.
Okay.
He might gurgle out. You will stay dead.
I think I see. I'm gonna follow Juggler's lead here. I see that. I don't know anything about tactical fighting, so I'm just sort of, he's hitting this guy. Another shin attack with the old quarterstaff.
Here we go.
So at this time, you just put 1 in for Boone. Is that
1.
correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think you might get an extra boon. Not that you need it.
Dang, dude.
That's a big hit, and that is a crit as well, which I don't think does anything.
Probably not.
Yeah, you get surrounded target as well. You get 1 extra boon if it's within the reach of at least 1 ally.
Mm-hmm.
Creatures
But I
whose
mean, it's
size
already
is...
a crit, and I don't have anything. I don't think. That
Yeah. So it's just
benefits
6.
from it,
But that's
so.
a big... Look at that. Once again, big follow-up. Boom.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Then it is the end of round 3, run around 4. Anybody spending their reaction to go first?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I will rush towards the leader and try and finish this.
Go ahead. You'll have 1 extra boon from outnumbered or surrounded, I think is. Ooh, that is a hit, not a crit, but that is more than enough. What does it look like as you take this boss guy down?
I think he'll sort of rush over and then just smack his sort of shield to make him fall down, and then just sort of flip the sword around and just sort of bring it down and drive it into his chest.
Yeah, he is
And then look
down.
over at where the archers are, and it's sort of, I'm coming for you next.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else want to spend their reaction?
I will note, Kevin. It seems to me like spells endure caster incapacitation unless the spell states otherwise. That's how it seems to me. But
Yeah,
you can take a look.
that's what I assumed as well. I was looking to
Yes.
see if there's a sustained thing, but I don't think.
Yeah,
there
some
is.
spells say they don't survive incapacitation, so it seems like it's per spell.
Anyone else? Going? All right.
Not reaction now.
Okay, so then we have bad guys. I think I'm gonna make a. Make a will check here. With 1. Yeah, they're going to keep fighting. They're kind of fed up with this wall, though, so I think they're going to start spreading out around to get a better angle. No, they're going to fire, I think, directly through. So, Caden, you're the one who took it down. There's going to be 4 shots on you. You took the boss down. So, first one is no way that hits. Second one, no way. Third one, no way. Fourth one, no way. Okay. All right, so a rain of arrows coming in on you, but just either they're missing or your shield is catching them. Our heroes, Sirocco, Juggler, Moonbeam, what are you guys doing?
Are there any foes that are isolated? Are they all paired?
They're paired up, and they're 15 yards away still, and on the other side of that wall.
Let's see. Can I? You can't move. Can you go? Can I move? I can move forward, right? I can move forward and act a little, or right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll move forward so they're 10 yards away. I will endeavor.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're basically right up against the wall.
Yeah. And I let loose with something that, as I was reading his book, my natural instinctive species magic surprised me by coming alive, and I fling a little crackling lightning. Ooh. I try to.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Okay, let's see here. A will roll. Here it comes.
Agility.
Yeah, with a boon.
Oh, with a boon. Good call.
Yeah.
Good check. Good reminder. With a boon against its agility. Here we go. Here it comes. Agility. There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so that does 2d6 damage then.
So you know it's green because the boon was a 6, not because I rolled a 20, but that's okay.
But you rolled over 20 and you beat it by 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Not heroic, but I'll take it.
Okay. Next up.
I think how tall is the wall?
The wall is, I want to say, at least a yard tall. Where is it here? 10 yards wide, 10 yards tall.
Oh, geez, 30 feet. All right. I was going to try to... I guess I could...
You just make a strength check to push through it.
Yeah, but then I'll be isolating with those guys on the other side. I think I'm just going to try to intimidate him. I'm going to take that body of their fallen leader and just throw it into the wall.
Okay.
I guess it's going to rebuff back, isn't it? It's not going to go swirling through.
Kind of.
Well, I'll try to throw it over the wall. That could be funny. Why not?
You're going to try and throw a body 30 feet up in the air?
Yeah, I know. It's not going to work. All right. You just rebuff, probably.
Sometimes it's just helpful to say these out loud.
Yeah, I know. I'll try to throw it through the wall. I mean, I'll just make a strength check, and if you can give me a bane or something. Right.
I mean, like, you're just not going to be able to do that. It's a body of an adult person, right? Like, you can't throw...
All right, I'll just pick up the body and hold it, then. I think he's the shield.
Okay, so you grab the body and you've got it up. Moonbeam, anything you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I can move and keep attacking these guys, I guess.
There you go.
Let's see why not.
What's your speed?
My speed? Maybe I'm not fast enough.
Well, so you're on the other side of... Yeah, so...
Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the wall. Okay, never mind. No, yeah, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm
Nothing?
not crossing the wall. No,
Okay.
I'm not crossing the wall.
End of the round, guys. We're on to round 5. Then, Sirocco has volunteered himself as the target. Anyone want to spend their reaction to go before the enemies?
Can you spend a reaction to just start moving? Or how does that...
If you're spending your reaction, you're taking your turn before the enemies. So you can't split it between before they go and after they go.
Gotcha. All right. I'll probably just wait, see how it goes, since I got this shield.
Hayden will seize the initiative.
Okay.
And he'll just head towards one of the archers.
Okay. Give us
If necessary, we'll just push his way through the wall.
Go ahead and give us a strength check. If you have any boons, no.
No, sadly not.
Okay. Yes. You burst through this wall of wailing winds, and you're about 5 yards away from them right now. Anyone else want to spend their reaction? Not okay.
Ooh, hold on. If I'm 5 yards away.
Ooh, what do you got?
Okay. Oh, no, how many yards would I have? How many yards did I move to get through the wall?
5 to get to the wall.
yards.
5 beyond.
Okay, I can see. No, never mind. Move on.
Okay. Okay. Nobody else? Then, Sirocco. We have 1 on you.
3 Banes?
Sorry?
Is this a bow shot or a melee guy?
Bow shot.
Bow shot, 3 Banes.
Okay. Does a 9 won't hit you. That won't hit you either. That won't hit you either. And that won't hit you either. Okay. So they're firing at you, but the wind is just whipping them all aside. Player's turn. What are you guys doing? They've moved back as well. They've shot and then they've moved back 5 yards. So they're currently 15 yards away from the wall now. Sirocco, Juggler, Moonbeam, anything? What are you guys doing?
Who's got straightforward behavior? Go ahead.
The Juggler's going to try to move through the wall.
Okay. Give us a strength check. If you want to use trickery too, that'll be your one use of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Nope.
You're rebuffed by the wall.
Okay.
Moonbeam, Sirocco?
I just don't see myself making it through this wall, so...
It is only 10 yards
Can
long.
I go around it?
Yeah,
like I can go end ways around it?
yeah, like
I
you
would
could,
do that.
if you're the midpoint of where the wall is, it's only 5 yards to get to the end of the wall.
Yeah, so I'll move to the end of the wall.
Okay. Do you want to take an action as well? You're kind of moving around the edge, or do you want to continue moving?
I don't have a ranged weapon, so yeah, I'll just continue moving.
Okay. Sirocco?
They are out of range of anything I have magical, so I am going to. I have a bow. I'm a ranged guy, so I'm going to employ my bow through my own wall of wind, and we'll give this a shot.
So you can move before you take your action, and you have a move of 10 when you fly, as he said.
Oh, so I could, I'm a pincushion of arrow targets, so I do not want to move through the wall. I am very fond of the wall that's going to go away very soon. Actually, I'm going to stay behind as long as I can. But could I dart out? Are you saying I could possibly do a little darting?
No, I'm saying you can position yourself so you're above the wall and not suffering the penalty, but then would be open to being fired on.
Yeah. No. I got to stay behind the wall. I got too many arrows flying at me every which way. So
3 Banes on this then, please.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I have faith in you, though. Here it comes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm assuming you're shooting the same dude as well.
Yes, indeed. Negative.
Okay. Turns out it's harder than it looks. Round 6, guys.
Okay.
Anyone spending their reaction?
Yeah, I think I'm going to continue to try to move through the wall.
Okay. Go ahead and give us a strength check.
Yep.
1 boon.
Yeah.
And you will as well, Caden? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were through the wall already.
Yeah, but I'm still
there you
away
go.
from them.
Juggler, you're through the wall and you're about 5 yards closer. Caden, you are now 10 yards away from them. What are you doing?
Because I will run up to one of them.
Okay.
Running triples my speed, so then I'll just be right in their face.
I will note that, remember, if you don't have a reaction available, then you will not be able to do an attack of opportunity on them.
Yeah, I'm aware.
That's fine? Okay. Okay, so you go racing up
But I'm hoping that, they might not know that.
Yeah. Okay, so you go racing up to them. Anyone else? Moonbeam, Sirocco?
I mean, I won't use my reaction to do it, no.
Okay. All right, so it's them. Two of them are turning and retreating off into the desert. So they are making a run for it. The two that you ran up to, Caden, one is going to draw his blade, or his cudgel, and try and get you. So he's got no modifiers here. Oh, they're out. Yeah, this first one will not have anything on it. 16, though.
That is a hit.
Okay. That is 7 points of damage. And then the other... I'm going to make a will with a boon. Nat 1, he's turning and running as well. He saw what you did to the boss, so he is running fully away from you. You only have the one left that's engaged with you. They are now 25 yards away from the wall. Sirocco and Moonbeam have not gone.
Go ahead. Get in there.
Are any close enough that I can get to them in 5 yards and attack them, or?
No.
No, I'm not going to chase them. If they're running away, that's fine.
They're still in short range of your bow, though, Sirocco. So you're not suffering an extra 4 banes. Oh, the wind wall's down this round, right?
This is the last round. This is it's 6. His last one.
Okay.
Hayden is facing off with one right now, right?
He is, yeah.
I'll take a. I think. And what's the range on that situation?
That's just within range. So no, there's the 3 banes from the wall. That's it.
Well, and beyond 10 yards though.
Sorry.
He's beyond 10 yards.
He is 15 yards away. Yeah.
Bow shot coming.
Okay. Go ahead with 3 banes.
3 banes it is. Negative.
Okay. Then it is end of round. We're on around 7. The wind wall is dropped now. These guys are employing their cloaks to hide. So unless you guys are going to be trying to search for them, they're going to be able to disappear into the desert. Anyone spending their reaction to go before the enemy?
Yes, please.
Go right ahead. That is a solid hit.
Nice.
It is... it's not over 20, though. Okay. No. So look at this. Okay, so it's a hit. This guy is trying to fight for his life here. So you're battering down his defenses. Anyone else spending their reaction to go before? No? Okay, so he's going to try and brain you. An 11, I take it, doesn't hit.
It does not.
Okay. Then, any of our heroes?
Yep. Juggler's going to go and attack it.
He is
Attack him.
15 yards away, so you would need to spend all your move to get to him.
Oh, okay.
Like a move and an extra action.
Okay, so he'll be there.
Okay.
Yep.
Moonbeam?
He hasn't used a reaction, so.
Yeah.
Moonbeam? I'm not giving chase, and I don't have ranged weapons, so I don't know. Return to the caravan.
Sirocco?
Sirocco's going to advance to 10 yards range using his, and then he is going to he's going to use his jolt spell for a crackling lightning at this guy.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
Yep, all right.
Maybe between now and next session, any attack spells you've got, set them up as attacks as well.
Okay.
Just because that way we,
Gotcha.
it's good to see what the full text is too, but it might speed things up a little bit.
All right, let's see here. Agility with 1 boon against his agility. There we go. Negative.
Okay. It's not far off though. So then that is the end of the round. Top of round 8. Caden, you spending your reaction again?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Come on.
I will too after Caden goes.
Finish this.
Finish
Ooh,
up.
Remember, you got an extra boon because there's 2 of you engaged with them now.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
No, you go. You go. He hits you. There you go.
That is enough. What does it look like as you take him down?
I think this one will just be sort of a run through with the sword.
Yeah.
So I'm just like right in his face, sort of.
Okay. So that is more than half of them you guys have killed in this fracas. With them down and dead, you guys realize that it doesn't sound like there's a fight going on at the front of the caravan. Like, there's no screams, there's no, shouts of battle or whatnot. This little melee back and forth, you were asking before, Sirocco, whether you could hear at the front of the caravan between, a 2-deep thing full of people and wagons and whatnot. The sound is getting drowned out. So it seems like whatever's happening at the front of the wagon, they have no idea what's happened behind here. What do you guys do? I guess first off, when does your damage go away with rest?
That's a great question. Yeah, rest. Yeah.
Like a full night's, like 6 consecutive hours of sleep heals all damage and gives you back 1/10 of your health score.
Oh yeah. You get all your damage back, but 1/10 of your health. Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, the damage is like stamina type,
Right.
Just but a flesh wound.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you look at one another. This is the first time you've had, I think, a fight with each other.
And maybe in my life.
Yeah.
I think Caden will look towards Sirocco and just go, "What's with the streamers, man?"
And I'm laying down. If you look over, I'm like, I'm in the wagon, just laid down because I'm in pretty bad shape. I mean, I came back, but that doesn't mean I'm healthy. So I'm like, I don't really have anything to say. I'm working on it. But it is sweet. I'm like, I'm pretty optimistic about the whole thing, but it's a work in progress. That's what I say. It's a work in progress. And then I moan again as I'm laying there in the wagon.
As far
time to loot these bodies.
Yeah, there is a shield. There is a set of leather armor. There are 3 sets of padded armor. There are 3 clubs. And there are 4 bows. You cannot sell them for any money because no one's paying you for those on the caravan. But if you guys wish to replace any of your gear, you can feel free to do so from them. And we'll see if there's anything else of interest on them.
I'm interested in arrows. I'll replenish.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Each of them would have... Give us a 2d10 roll. Hold on, there's... 4 of them surviving. Gives a 8d10 roll, please. This will be a total number of arrows you can salvage.
Okay. D10. There you go.
So there's a total of 41 arrows that you guys can spread amongst yourselves. Would that you wish to do so?
Nice.
Can I lose my dagger? Back at the beginning.
Can you? Sorry.
Can I try to recover or find that dagger?
Definitely. Yeah, you can definitely find it. One of the upsides to the salt flats is it's pretty fucking easy to see where stuff has gone. Guys, I'm also going to give you fortune. So the group has fortune now.
That's a group meta currency, we said, right?
Yep, and then the group chooses what you either have fortune or you do not have fortune.
Nice.
Now, let's see here. Okay. So what you're able to loot from these guys, by the by, is about 4 gold pieces worth of much smaller denomination.
So I guess that's 1 gold piece that's much smaller denomination each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Then, what do you
We
guys...
should go check. We should go check on the front of the caravan.
Yeah.
Okay. If you...
And I'll be looking for a medic too. I'm like, does anyone know how to and,
Polto's busted wing. Did anyone know how to... I don't think this is supposed to... You know?
Here, have a bit of Galcine root. It'll help you preserve.
I have 3 poultices. I don't know if those are like healing things.
It sounds good. Let's see.
Poultice.
I think that's. Oh, you know what? I have a poultice too. Now that you're saying that. Now that I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got equipped. Part of my equipment. We should read about that. I should read about that.
I like how he landed on that.
Yeah.
Eventually. Poultice takes 1 minute to prepare and consume. After wearing a poultice for 1 hour, a creature heals 1d6 damage.
Boom. I apply a poultice. That's for sure.
Okay. And then, and there's 1 sword, incidentally. There were 3 clubs and 1 sword. So if anyone wishes the take the sword in lieu of what they've had thus far. If you go to the front, Sirocco is taking a minute to apply that. What you can hear basically is the tail end of the conversation with the Master Zarpa, and these taxmen. They do not. They do not agree to. What she basically says is they do not recognize their status. They do not recognize their authority. They will not pay any taxes. And there is some imploring with them to, respect the authority of the land, to avoid problems for their travelers. I think when she comes up, she does. Do you make yourself known, Caden?
Yeah, I think he'll sort of step out so that the Zarpa does not.
You could try and get Gunner's attention, because Gunner seems to be a good,
Yeah, I think he'll rather than sort of just bustle in, he'll try and get Gunner's attention.
Okay. So if you do so, then Gunner, he looks back at you, and there's a big smile he's got in his face, and looks like, gives you that look of like, and?
3 escaped, but we took out 4.
He steps forward.
Caravan wasn't damaged.
He leans into Zarpa's ear and whispers something. She spares a look back at you, and you get what is going to be as close to approval as you will get from Zarpa. She looks back and she says, "Now, if you wish to, so my caravan needs to move. If you wish to make this an issue, let us draw steel, and we'll be done with things." And there are some threats that come from the other side. There are some drawn weapons from the other side, but it does not get to violence. And they leave on the back of their, bird lizards with a bunch of threats coming that increasingly spiral clearly out from, we're the authority here, to we're going to murder you in your sleep and stuff like that. And then they eventually leave and the caravan gets going again.
Mm-hmm.
When it does, Zarpa will eventually, once things get going, come back to you, Caden, and say, "So, 4 of them?"
Aye.
Is that correct?
I would have preferred they not know what happened to them, but I suppose them knowing it was you might be reason enough for them to think twice before jeopardizing it again. 3 dead. 4 dead.
I'm one of their squad leader things.
From the numbers we saw, assuming there's at least the same again, you've managed to take nearly a quarter of their numbers in one. We'll have to see this evening. You did well, Caden. And she looks around. Are you injured?
Nothing that a good night's rest won't sort
Yes,
out. But
my
Sirocco
eardrum?
could do with a healer if you have one.
Yes, they seem to dislike the harpy greatly.
The gunner steps forward and says, well, can you blame them? Clearly, what a threat. How did you manage to get your feathers so covered in blood?
Yeah, I'm very susceptible to a bit of flattery right now, and I swell up a bit, and I'm kind of thinking of him as like harpy lore. I guess I didn't really experience it, but of the wise men of a harpy flock of a harpy flock. I'm picturing him accurately or inaccurately as like it looks like him, like it's kind of like him. Because I never grew up actually in one. So
no, you're going to be like the like North American expats, the children of expat Europeans, where you're just like obnoxiously Irish or like obnoxiously whatever, right?
Yeah. So I'm just soaking up, but I'm like, it was brutal. They came right after me, but my wall of wind was. And knowing he's an element guy, in whatever respect, the wind was very effective. I look brightly.
As it would be on these plains. He looks at your poultice and says, well, you have seen treatment then. If you see further troubles, come and see me.
Very good. I think I need a night's sleep. I'm sure that will help.
You're also a kid too, right? So there's got to be an element of like seeing this as a teenager, and a potentially exceptionally dangerous spellcasting teenager, but a teenager nonetheless.
No doubt.
Right?
I mean, I've been in a cage. I mean, worse than that. It's worse than that.
Yeah.
It's worse than a teenager. It's a teenager in a cage. I mean,
Oh, God. All right. So then you guys, with this done, you guys do carry on the evening. Tell us about what the mood is like and what other steps. Obviously, Sirocco, you do your you're injured, but you're not. First off, your poultice would heal 1d6. So why don't you roll that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For that double-edged sort of health.
Didn't get the whole way, but that'll do.
I'm totally in favor of this health thing now. This is really fucking cool. The idea that it because imagine it's like really in a dungeon, good. Right? Like if you're running a dungeon type thing where you're just like incrementally getting.
Yeah.
Okay. Caden, did you want to make use of a poultice as well?
I don't have any on me, so unless someone.
I think. I'll give it to him.
Moonbeam has one.
Yeah, we have poultices.
Yeah, I have some. Yeah.
Okay, so be 1d6.
Make use of one.
Oh, human. Here. She hasn't learned your name yet.
That's perfect.
I mean, they all look alike, right? So.
Yeah.
Except the dead ones.
2 back. Okay.
Except the dead ones, right?
So that one distinguishes himself through smell.
Yes.
Right.
I have this root that preserves your decayed flesh, Sirocco.
What? I'm unsure on that whole thing.
I pull like some root out of my ear.
You know what? I think I'll try to sleep. I'll try to get a good night's sleep and see what happens, says Sirocco.
It's better than maggots.
Yes, it sounds so. I think I'm a little euphoric. like the teenager that just went through his first combat. Like, he's ready for.
The wall
He's
was,
ready to
the
get,
wall was pretty effective. That's a good start.
And the blood loss is making you lightheaded.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it was pretty bad for us when I would like hit the deck and then came to. I who knows? Like, I'm a goner.
cool.
I don't know what's going on, right? So the fact that I came through it, I have survivor's euphoria. I went through my first combat. If I was in a tavern, I would definitely get hammered. But we're out here on the on the plane. I'm just kind of euphoric. Like, yeah, that was wonderful, fantastic.
You do raise a good point, Sirocco. Is there any booze in this caravan?
Yes.
Like, with a drink.
There are limited supplies, but if do you think it's wise this evening to be doing so if the taxmen are coming?
Oh, right. They're probably going to try to.
Sirocco's not thinking of that at all. Someone else has to be leader on that. He's.
We'll have to be on watch tonight.
Yes.
Okay, Sirocco, give us a intellect check, please, with 2 banes.
Okay.
This is your Dusk Patrol.
Oh.
Dusk Patrol was my Coldplay cover band in high school.
Oh,
Right.
Moonbeam? You have anything left? You probably don't.
What's that?
Oh, no.
Moonbeam have anything left? No metacurrency left. Okay.
Yeah, you use your fortune right away. Easy come, easy go. Fortune is
true.
with everybody's consent.
I don't know. Well, it's up to you. It is kind of an important role, but it's so quick. Whatever you think. I don't know.
It's late at night. Yeah.
It's a reroll, Kevin? Is that what it is?
Well, no. So the fortune is you take a 20 on it, but then you will not get fortune.
Yeah.
You will not have fortune anymore.
Right.
As a
so
party.
It's automatic. I was going to say if it's a reroll, it's definitely not worth it because I have 2 banes, but it's an automatic success with a 20, so it's up to you. I don't know. Whatever you think.
I will tell you, like, fortune is the kind of thing you can expect to get maybe once per session. So if you're spending it, just to judge how you're going to make use of that.
I guess not. Then, hey, what do you
Oh
think?
no, you can. I mean, it'll give you certainty for your surveillance.
What's the party? What do you guys?
We got 30 minutes.
But again,
We don't lose.
you either
it.
have fortune or you don't. You would start next session with fortune, and then if you spend it, you don't have fortune anymore. It's not something you're going to start every session with. You get that by doing things in the game.
Yeah.
What is the?
I think if this is to make sure we're not murdered in our sleep or attacked during the night, I'd be happy for it to be used.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Feels important, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. It's an important role. Yeah.
Fortune is gone.
Oh man.
Easy come, easy go.
And speaking of gone,
Yeah.
so are the taxmen. There is absolutely no sign of them.
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Sirocco takes a longer than usual surveillance of this. He is fully confident that they are nowhere to be seen. So, what do you guys do this evening?
Now we drink. You drink.
Yeah, now we drink. Yeah, Sirocco wants to drink. I mean, he's easily led on this, but he's.
I think that Juggler is immune from poison.
I know he doesn't get. You can't get drunk.
Yeah.
Sorry. So sorry about that.
It's fine.
Then, anything else you guys wish to do this evening? If you want to try and search out some booze, I think that's going to be an intellect check. Likely, if anyone has any professions that they think would apply, you'll get a boon on it. I think that would offset the bane just because it's a... No, everyone, at this stage of this is only like a fucking week into your trip. You guys will have, access to, or have the ability to access booze.
Unless someone talks Sirocco out of it, he's interested. He wants to hit a little booze.
I mean,
Caden would just double check. So, Sirocco, you don't think they'll attack us during the night? They're definitely...
I flew far and wide. I could not see any sign.
I think we scared them off.
We've earned a drink. One drink, Sirocco.
Of course.
Three.
Of course.
You said
Three.
you've got hollow bones, right? So you're literally a lightweight.
Yeah.
So, So Juggler will get no buzz from this booze, but Sirocco most certainly will. Caden most certainly will, and Moonbeam most certainly will. Tell us, guys, what is the mood like as you guys are enjoying your drinks?
Chatty. That's what my mood's like.
Yeah.
I'm you know, that wall of wind just became 100 feet tall. That's what that happened. That's how that happened.
Nice. Well, I think it helps.
I assume. Sorry, Carl, go ahead.
No, good. Well, I think it helps Juggler because it'll mitigate some of the smell if you just like pour some alcohol on him or drink some, and it comes out as spores.
You know,
So it smells like,
Juggler, you
salty whiskey.
Yes,
salty
you smell
moonshine.
less like salted rotten chicken. Now you also sound like you smell like sour whiskey. Caden, Moonbeam?
I mean, if Sirocco's chatty, I think that Moonbeam would take this opportunity to get to know him. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
She's definitely curious in him. Maybe I'll tell your fortune to you if you're interested, Sirocco.
I'm in. I'm in now. I mean, I am. You got me in the right mood. I mean, I don't know if I have a wrong mood right at the moment. I'm pretty euphoric from not being in a cage that I had my entire life. So, but now, post combat, let's go.
Yeah.
I had some alcohol. Come on.
Okay, so she gets her cards out and reads your fortune.
Boom.
Gets you to
Nice.
stand.
What do you see?
Give us an intellect check with a boon, Moonbeam.
Intellect check with the boon.
Nice. It's
Did it roll?
it did.
It did.
I think so. Yeah. 14.
Oh yeah, okay. I just rolled a 1. Yeah, I just had the chat scrolled up. That's why I didn't see it.
I see.
Oh, yeah, I do that so fucking often.
I know. I forget that it doesn't auto scroll back to the bottom when you do that.
Yeah.
So, it is a fortuitous fortune. Moonbeam. What do you see in the cards?
I see you safely making it to what's the name of the place we're going to?
Newtown, right? Newtown.
I see you safely making it to Newtown and with new friends. And she cheerses her little glass to you.
Oh yes. I'm in. It's just all glory right now. It's all glory. Yes. It's fantastic.
Maybe even fortune there.
Oh, yes.
Iffy. It's either fortune or misfortune, but I'm feeling like it's fortune.
And it's all coming true. Do it.
You know what? I think you see in there too, Sirocco. It appears that you've regained your fortune.
Really?
Nice.
Caden, is there anything you do in... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, David. Sorry.
Yeah, I think as we were sitting around and chatting, there will definitely be a moment where Caden will, in a friendly camaraderie, hoping to help way, critique all of their fighting. Like, there were no tactics, there was no strategy, there was no cohort cohesion, it was just a wild, mad, it was absolutely no. So it'd be like friendly.
Don't forget about the confetti. Don't forget about the
that would
confetti.
definitely feature in it, like what the...
It must have distracted that leader type.
It distracted me.
Yes, because it distracted me. I was about to run in and then confetti everywhere. I felt like I should have pulled out my knives and start juggling.
It's a work in progress. I assure you. I think it could be quite impressive. I'm on the cusp. I'm on the cusp of greatness.
Caden,
I need to practice more.
is there anything that you do in your practices to venerate hate after a encounter?
Yes, I think that there would be. But I think at this stage it would already have happened. I imagine it'll be something like when he cleans the blood off his blade, he'll sort of, there'll be sort of ceremonial quiet prayer of thanks after that it's the enemy's blood that is cleaned off the blade and not mine.
Okay. What you also find is that there are some, over the course of the evening and the later days, people realize or come to learn what you had done, and there is some small measure of gratitude in the form of money. So what we're going to do is we're a little bit early right now, guys, but I think we're going to bring our session to a close here, and we'll pick up with our heroes at this point in a month's time. But everyone's going to gain a level. So you guys will be second level when we get back. I think that's just the second level in your novice path at this point. It's next time that you guys will be able to start making some interesting decisions. Everyone will have healed up, so your damage and your health loss will be restored. I'm also going to tell you how much money you're going to get, and you guys can feel free to upgrade your gear as appropriate so that you are equal to a second tier or the second level characters to reflect that. We had said before we were going to do a year per session, and I will catch up on that, but we're still going to pick up with you guys in the crossing of the Salt Barrens. I think next session, it'll likely be a couple months in the future. Then, and you guys will maintain your fortune across sessions as well. So you will be starting next session with your fortune. But anything else you guys want to share or you want to talk about before we bring our first session of this to a close?
I think that Moonbeam would be saying to Caden, well, if you would like to show me some fighting techniques when we get to Newtown, I would be interested.
I mean, why wait until we get to Newtown? We have a lot of time in the next 3 months crossing this very boring landscape.
5 days into a 4-month journey, like, let's just wait until we get there. Let's not rush things.
I'm going to be sidling up to Gunther as he permits. Gunner, and just to chat and to talk to him about my work in progress. It's just really narrative, but I'm just, going to be, I want to chat magic. I'm hugely curious and into it, and it got me free. It got me free. What more is there to say, right? But there's a lot more, like this confetti. It's right on the edge. I'm right on the edge of a breakthrough, I think. And so anyway, I'm going to be siding up to Gunner about talking magic if he permits.
He definitely does. Especially seeing the spirit that you've shown in this, he's going to be very, I think because you're quite, naive as far as the wider world is and whatnot, this is a guy who's got a great big heart, right? So he, I think, would be much more welcoming he is much more of willing to kind of take you as a mentor kind of role, I think, than especially spending 4 months together. You're a very easy kid to like, and he's a guy who likes liking people, right? His wife, on the other hand, a little less so, but
we all have roles to play.
Absolutely. And this is, as you see, this is only in the first week you've had a bunch of fuckers who tried to rob and potentially kill you. It's going to be a challenging journey. Juggler, Caden, anything you guys want to do in the near future?
I think, Juggler, this is up to you. Do this engagement with the taxman jar any memories?
What are you thinking?
Rotted brain. Could they have been involved in?
No, definitely not.
Either. Okay, definitely not. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Caden?
I think inspired by Moonbeam, Caden will happily train Moonbeam a bit, but would also actually offer to anyone in the caravan, seeing as this is dangerous terrain, and they're heading into what isn't necessarily safe country. Will offer up, when everyone rests down in the evening, just nothing special, just a few drills, a few basics of self-defense and how to deal with bandits sort of.
When you're turning those over to sort of the caravan militia, you have a couple of clubs and there's some sets of padded armor. So there are some folks who may not be so equipped who will have that stuff. I think you can, anyone who has used their poultice, you can have that refreshed by the caravan supplies. Caravan guards would likely have that shit with them, and knowing that you actually actively took part in the fight. So Caden, Caden used, I think, one of Moonbeam's. So Sirocco, yours is back. Moonbeam, yours is back. Nice. Great. Well, that was, that was fucking great, guys. I really like how the survivability of the characters are in the hands of the players. Like, you guys have a lot of abilities that will help mitigate against the threats of this stuff that is not as obvious as just like, well, I'm gonna take less damage or I'm gonna heal so and so. It's really neat that way. Then, guys, that brings us to the end of our first session of 10 of Shadow the Weird Wizard. Any comments on this game thus far? Because we have time.
Yeah. Brings me back to Shadow the Demon Lord. Like, I like that system, same system. It's great. I'm looking forward to going up the level every time. That's always fun to get a little something after each one,
Yeah.
I like the way they've changed initiative from Shadow of the Demon Lord to this, where it's like sort of tactical. It's not like too complex, but do I use my reaction to go first, or some of my other stuff is triggered on reactions? Or am I better waiting off to use my reaction then? And so it's neat little, not like super complex decisions, but neat little sort of decisions you get to make every round.
Yeah. And more important, a consequential one too, right? Because, like, especially for your class abilities that are triggered by reactions, that's a pretty, your ability to teleport away, Caden's ability to recover health, like, that's not a small thing of like, fuck, do I let him go first and then take the hit? Or that's pretty cool.
I have to remember, I have a magic implement that comes with my, if it works, Kevin, I figured I grabbed it on the way out of my escape.
Yeah.
From his office, an amulet that I have. I'll just make it that if possible, and it has charges equal to my level between rests. So it's kind of a cool little thing for me to keep in mind that I forgot about.
This is your wizard thing, right?
Yeah, mage, right? And it lets me augment magic, or it lets me sense magic. And you get it every rest, so it's pretty. You have it every day. And I could have used it on my lightning. So next time, I'll remember to. And now I get an extra charge. I have 2 charges per rest now rather than 1 because of my level.
Nice.
Yeah,
Jeff, how's it compare to Shadow of the Demon Lord for you?
It feels very similar. I like it. I'm looking forward to the rest of these 10 sessions. And seeing where these characters go. That it's always an interesting system for how the characters grow and change as they gain levels in these games.
I'm set on us going through that process, but I'll tell you, like, I'm already looking forward to running a campaign at the pace we would normally play through stuff, because like for some of this stuff to play out, you're going to need to let the resources play out over more than just a single session, even a 4-hour session. So like, we're not going to get a chance, I think, to see the full scope of the game in the course of this, but we will be able to see characters go up during that period, which is going to be cool. And it sold me on how cool the game would be played in a normal way, or at least the way that we typically play things, where we go up on a periodic basis or whatever. Cool. And also, you guys are having that thing of the health and then or having the damage and then the health is a very, very cool mechanic. I think is really, definitely makes the is a lot less. You're a lot less fragile than what the Shadow of the Demon Lord characters were at first level, even beyond the other abilities.
Less 0. They have 0 over there, so most level 0 in Shadow of the Demon Lord.
They do have optional rules in Secrets if you wanted them to run like a literal 0 to hero, campaign. I just don't, I don't think that's. I mean, whatever. It's if you want to do that, you can still do that with the Shadow or the Secrets book. But cool. All right.
I figured it would be pretty rough, and so I took 2 of those spells. I used both of them already to stay alive, so I feel good about that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think everyone has something like that. I feel
Yeah, I took the one that's as you saw, I heal and teleport, and then I took the one where it reduces both reactions, and the one that reduces damage on a hit and makes me slippery, so therefore not hit on any even roll that would hit me for 1 minute.
Which was cool because one of the attacks that I did that came close to hitting you too, it was actually an even roll, so it would have missed anyway because of your magic. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So I use both. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome stuff. All right, so then we'll be back in a month's time, or 4 weeks' time about, for session 2 with level 2 characters. For those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where we have, I don't think we have a Shadow the Demon Lord channel, do we? I don't think so. But we have a channel for assorted games. Yeah. I think we might have at one point, but it's been so long since we've run Demon Lord that I don't think it's there anymore. But there's also there are assorted games channels where we talk about assorted games that aren't covered by one of the other channels that we have. There's Find a Group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat. There's very knowledgeable, friendly, and helpful people over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, including, let's say, I don't know, the Dark Eye RPG published by Ulysses Spiele. There is also, and potentially published by Asmodee. Soon too, because Asmodee is publishing an English language translation of the starter set for the Dark Eye, which this adventure is not about, nor does it have anything to do with the Noble Knight. I just want to talk about the Dark Eye again. We will be, let's see here, in addition, if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code Happy Muse Year. It is listed in the description of this video. It is easier to type than it is to say, and it'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more through their website. If you're listening to this after April 15, 2025, come back to one of our more recent videos and we'll have the current discount code listed there. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart weirdos. So, Jeffrey, Carl, Sean, and David, thank you so much for such a great first session of Shadow the Weird Wizard. I am really looking forward to seeing what these heroes do as they make their way into the Borderlands and make a name for themselves in this new interim world. Apparently, also, I'm contractually obligated to have every campaign set in the Borderlands that David plays in, because we're also playing in the Trojan Reach in the Borderlands sector. Then we'll be back in 1 month's time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes on their way to the Borderland are encountering. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.